Hello, good evening, Twin Minds here. Back to West of Loathing, where I have absolutely no idea how far I am, but possibly more than half. Who knows? We're gonna continue. Gila, yes, already. Hi, hello. Okay, where was I? What was I doing? Professor, hello. Keystones, pile of rock. Hi. Right. I believe I got keys last time. Yes, 2 Vibrato keystones. So, a whole bunch of shit going on here. Whole bunch of shit. He did tell me where one of them was. Lost Dutch oven mine. Yes, that's right. Lost Dutch oven mine, which is where exactly? Lost Dutch oven mine. Because we can go do that. As soon as I can find it. Lost Dutch oven mine, there we go. We're going that way. Okay. Okay, yes. Lost Dutch oven mine. The stench here is barely tolerable. Miner's pants? Gas mask. Huh, could use this 5 minutes ago. Indeed. Grab stuff. Sure, stuff's good. Oh, we have another spittoon. I don't know what kind of tobacco these miners are chewing, but it must be extra corrosive because this brass spittoon has a hole eaten through the bottom and dark stains underneath it where the spit leaked out. Although oddly, it doesn't seem to be leaking now and it's half full. Guess the miners plugged the hole with something. Inspect it. It's a spittoon. It's disgusting. You can practically see the stink lines coming off it. Come on, let's not do this. Inspect. Oh, jeez, fine, okay. You crouch down and take a careful look at the filthy spittoon. The inside is blackened with years' worth of stains. The death broth inside has a rainbow sheen like a parking lot oil spill, and occasionally a little bubble pops on the surface. You can actually feel a slight warmth radiation off of it, or a slight warmth radiating off of it from whatever dire chemical reaction is taking place in there. You realize you're holding your breath, not deliberately, but from the human body's natural instinct for self-preservation. Take a deep breath. Imagine someone made a big pot of chili con carne and left it under the porch. 3 rats crawl into the pot, eat half the chili, and then die. A week later, a family of cockroaches takes up residence among the writhing maggots. The cockroaches smoke thick black cigars, which they light with tufts of burning human hair. That's what it smells like. Searching. Fortunately for you, the rainbow-colored film on the surface of the liquid coats your hand as you plunge it into the toxic stew, keeping it from being immediately dissolved down to the bones. The smell intensifies and your stomach prepares to hose the poisons off your arm with a high-pressure stream of vomit. Keep going. Your fingers touch something at the bottom of the spittoon. Better pull it out fast while you still have something to pull with. Pull. You pull the world's most disgusting pair of pants out of the spittoon, and jump back as the hole at the spittoon's bottom, now unplugged, begins to leak steaming filth. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of the worst object I have ever been paid to think about, narrowly defeating a leather bondage harness made from the skin of a clown. So vivid. So vivid indeed. Wow, that's really not that fantastic. 2 armor, 2 speed. Hooray! And how is that compared to my current pants? 7 muscle. Alright, it's fine. Dynamite, sulfur match. Hey, what's this? A lodestone ring. Ho ho ho. Hello, Kinder. Welcome. Cheers. Lodestone is a rare mineral that is magnetically attracted to meat. It's a real treasure to a prospector and a real nuisance to a butcher. 100% meat gains. My ring currently is combat bonuses, which is fine. Already been picked over. Cart's empty. Oil it. Ride the elevator down. You emerge from the elevator into a deeper shaft. By the light of your lantern, you see exposed meat veins on nearly every surface. It's unusual that there would be this much readily available meat left in a working mine. What were they digging for, if not this? Curious. Indeed. Oh, I'll dig it, though. I forgot, I got the mind-splaining bonus. Oh, hello, crazy person. Okay, fine, we'll talk to the crazy person. Look at him flail. This guy is totally out of it. He's gibbering and drooling and doesn't even seem to see you. Hello. Hey, buddy, are you okay? Globble. Huh. You wave your hand in front of his face and he doesn't react at all. Let's see. Shovels, dulled to uselessness. A broken pickaxe. Was one of the miners digging with his helmet? Looks like a miner died trying to dig deeper with their hands. That's fair. An ominous ladder leading down to a deep, dark pit. Down we go. This gem is pretty, but it smells terrible. Effluvious emerald. If this gem is half as valuable as it is pungent, you're in the money. And you should probably wash your hands before you spend it. Fair enough. Hello, kitty. What are you doing? What are you doing? I have a gizmo, kitty. Okay. The finger bones are all splintered. You start to feel very uneasy. Oh, there's still some little bits of fingernail in these gouges. Your heart is pounding. This guy seems to have gnawed off his own hands before he died. You have to get out of this pit right now. Since when have I done anything intelligent in this game? This guy worked his fingers to the bone digging, and then worked his bones to the marrow. You have to get out of this pit right now. These scratches are just painted on. In blood. You have to get out of this pit right now. The gouge marks are dark with blood. You have to get out of this pit right now. But I'm curious. As you get near the rocks, the voices in your head begin screaming too loudly to ignore. You have to get out of this pit right now. Fine, fine. But what if I didn't? What if I did? Okay, fine. What if I didn't, though? Okay, fine. Can I... Hang on. Keystone. Open El Vibrato locks. Interesting. So I was told to come down here to use the keystone. But I don't see anywhere for us to use the keystone at. Hello, Sparkle! Sparkle, Sparkle, Sparkle. I'm assuming... Why didn't I do this before? Okay, whatever. This pile is pretty obviously made on purpose. Closer inspection reveals that the stones are mortared together. What could be hidden in here? I'm going to magic the rocks away. Mind over matter, magic over rocks. That's what they say. There's a trapezoidal piece missing from this weird crossbar thing. Keystone. Portal. I am here. Got off work 4 hours early tonight. That's awesome. Unless that's not awesome in some way. In which case, I'm sorry. Bend over to examine the device and accidentally stub your toe on it. It hurts, but the box moves. It must be lighter than it looks. Yoink! You grab the device. The professor will want to see this. You have recovered this device from one of those weird El Vibrato. El Vibrato. The professor would surely like to see it. Yup. Huh. What's this thing? Ah, no! You have learned the El Vibrato, word for toilet. It says that. Helpful. Great. The monolith is dark. Ooh. Keystone later. The machine is dark. There's a circular hole in the bottom. This seems like it might be a doorway, but there's no keyhole or handles or anything. This strange device has 3 buttons on top. I shall not push buttons right now. This apparently is related to the buttons. I don't know what it does yet. So let's do the keystone in here. There's a strange cloth loop inside. At least it feels more or less like a cloth. You got the El Vibrato loop. There's a large loop of that weird El Vibrato material. It's slightly bigger around than your head. Neat. Neat. Let's push buttons. Let's push buttons. The first one. These things aren't friendly. Neither am I. Oh god, I forgot I have so many friggin' powers. Bean. Fire bean. Oh. Right. I got a punch card. Hooray. What about the second one? Hey look, there's more of them. Bean. Spell. Bean Blizzard. I shall shoot that one. Good bean. Good bean. Fire bean. More scraps, wonderful. I do actually need more scraps, so this is working out perfectly. And the third one is probably going to be a lot of them. 'Tis indeed. Let's do this. Oh, you're fancy. You're all kind of fancy. All right, well let's do more of this. Okay. Self bean boost. Bean boy. Bean shield. Bean blizzard. And shoot something. Good bean boy, taking all them pews to the face. Alright, I don't have anything else to work with, so I guess shoot. And shoot. Bean, kill it. Kill it, Bean, kill it. Good bean. Good bean. Oh, I actually got a full keystone out of that. Wonderful. Because it's 5 scraps for a keystone. And I got a keystone, so I got another keystone worth. I have no idea what punch cards are for yet. Alright, I'm not gonna push any more buttons at the moment. That's enough grinding. So this thing doesn't work. I got whatever that is. I got all that. I don't know what the hell that says, but it's fine. I think it's time to go back to the professor and talk to him and then see what he has to say next. You spy a burned out ranch house on the horizon and pull Taz up to it to investigate. There's nothing much of interest above ground, but you find a locked door leading down into a presumably still intact root cellar. Let's do it. Once you're inside, you're not sure why they even bothered locking it. It's been picked clean of everything but a tiny amount of food and an even tinier amount of medicine. Great. Hello, Professor. I have done things. Good to see you again. Have you had a chance to take the keystone to Lost Dutch Oven Mine? I have. Oh, did you find anything interesting? I've got a device. Great, let's see. Aha! A marvelous find. This device makes batteries. Or will, once I have fixed it. Batteries? Yep. The Vibratoans powered their little portable equipment with the electric marbles. Like the one I put in your transponder. I'm sure I don't have to tell you, a regular source of these will be incredibly useful. Great. Batteries. Battery. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, I should be able to go back to the Dutch oven mine. Your El Vibrato transponder thingy starts beeping at you, and you play hot and cold with it until you find a weird-looking crate hidden behind some rocks. Wonderful. Got things. So now we should be able to go back in here, through the stank, past the spittoon that I've already stuck my hand into, down the elevator, slide on in. Sir, are you still okay? Yeah, he's still great. Perfect. Then we go on in through here. Go on this away. Insert the power sphere. The machine is dark. There's a circular hole in the bottom. The machine hums to life. The screen says that. And there's a button at the bottom labeled that. Push it. A tiny voice says that. That looks important. Let's do it. The machine on this side of that weird transport thing is busted. There's a piece here that is pretty obviously broken. Replace it. It's purring like a kitten. A giant, untrustworthy, alien mechanical kitten. That sounds neat. It's a big cylinder. Take it. That was meant to go in here, but now I have a replacement cylinder for later. This glowing letters read that, and that's not helpful. Alright, cave-in looks like it happened a long time ago. Does it do anything, or is it just working? I think it's just working, okay? What about you? Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it real good. Okay. Sure, I did the thing. Let's go talk to the professor again, see if he has anything to say about that. You hear a dry cough behind you and turn to see a skeleton dressed in a moldering old tuxedo and a silk top hat shuffling towards you, gesturing angrily with her walking stick. The funeral lily pinned to her lapel is gilded, as are all of her teeth. Guess she was trying to take it with her. Fight her. Lend a sympathetic ear. Sure, why not? Something I can help you with, madam? The skeleton hisses and chatters her teeth at you, gesturing vaguely with her cane. Since you don't speak skeleton, nobody can because they can't speak, you have to figure out her complaint from context and body language. It seems to be something along the lines of, I'm rich and dead, how come all these poor people get to be alive? Where's the justice in that? You nod and make sympathetic noises in the right places, and eventually she begins to run out of steam. She throws her lily on the ground with a bah-like cough, and shuffles away. Neat! I got a gilded lily. Hello, drums! Hello, tricks! Hello, peoples. Welcome. Professor, do you know anything about ley lines, sir? I don't hold much with that mystical mumbo-jumbo. It's very unscientific, but it does come up in my research from time to time, so I can give you a basic overview. He draws some curved, intersecting lines on a piece of paper and explains how they relate to local geography and so-called mystical forces. It's pretty interesting stuff, and makes sense considering what you already know about magic. Great, I now have a diagram of ley lines. I don't remember who wanted or needed that, but I have it now. Great. Ooh, you finally got the shirt. Awesome. How do you like it? I just washed mine. It's in the wash right now. Everybody wearing it. So, ley lines. That is great to hear, and thank you again. That one. It says new on it. We're going on that one. So, this game is one of those ones where, I know I've mentioned this before, without any sort of quest thing, I have a hard time remembering where I was at. Meat! I was at meat. Yay, Trix! I am glad that you like the hoodie. I also like my hoodie. What is this game? Oh, this game is a piece of work is what it is. This is West of Loathing. Bean iron. Dense bean iron nugget. Literally everything is silly. Like, every word that is written in here is silly in some way or another. These lockers have been pretty picked over from looks of them. Found a few worthwhile things. Actually, funny enough, very little was actually silly in here, except for maybe the thermos of spiked coffee. Toolbox on the bench. Hey, toolbox on the bench, but it's locked and welded to the bench. I got a hammer and a monkey wrench. Neat. Oh, yeah. When you first start the game, if you explore like everyone does in these games, you find a book and you learn those silly walks. So every time you walk, it's a different type of walk. Within like there we go. Now we've tapped to another walk. Wait, a pool of boiling soup? Well, that's different. It's actually something you can toggle on and off. There's a colorblind mode, and in case you weren't paying attention, this is a black and white game, so I have yet to figure out what the colorblind mode has done. Stupid walking can be turned on and off. Nostalgia mode turns it sepia colored. We also had the horse armor DLC. Obviously a direct stab at was it Skyrim or the Oblivion that did that? Hi. Kitty. Alright, kitty treats. Eva. Oh, he wasn't even 2 feet away. Yeah. Okay, Eva, you can have your own pot. These guys have turned into little crack fiends ever since I started whipping out the treats more often. Alright, so these are all boiling soup, and I don't have an appropriate vessel. So that's fine. I'll figure it out eventually. A knapsack. It's mostly filled with trash, but you find a spooky white mask. Weird. It's a cultist mask. plus 6 mysticality. Is that better than my current? No. I mean, kinda. I'd need to fully upgrade it. You got any more of them treats? Whoever was camping here left in a hurry. There's a diary under the crude pillow of this bedroll. Entry 1. This mine is the worst. It sucks so bad here. I have been in some lousy mines, but this one really takes the cake. Everything smells like soup. The walls are thick with it. I swear I can feel it getting into my pores. If I went to a doctor for a blood test, he'd probably tell me my blood is tomato basil bisque or whatever. Entry 2. We finally managed to get deep enough to hear the master. But it turned out the dang soup table is higher than we thought. We're spending 90% of our time bailing the stuff out and only 10% digging. I've got noodles in my boots. I hate this so much. Entry 3. Now the damn elevator's busted. It was always making a rattling noise and the guys off shift couldn't sleep. That finally stopped. But it stopped because the elevator itself stopped and we can't move it at all. Why did we even set up camp here? I had to spend the whole day scrounging around to find replacement 137, 59, and 23 pound compression springs for repairs. I will install them tomorrow. Oh god, someone write that down. 137, 59, and 23. 137, 59, 23. Screenshot just in case. Gizmo, you guys already ate all of your treats. You ate all of your treats already. Hi. And he's already looking for more. You little dork. So, Tricks, funny enough, they are getting a little bit more pestery, yes, but they were pretty bad and getting worse like before I started pulling out the treats. I was hoping the treats would have placated them, but it seems to have had the opposite effect. Whoops. Also, thank you for writing that down, Kanye. Gizmo. Gizmo. Stop it. Stop it. Alright. Continue. Entry 4. Boss says we're giving up here and headed to a real deep mine they found up northwest. Okay. It's a shame that we wasted all this work, but hot damn, it'll be good to get away from this soup. I will never eat soup again in my life. Got the springs installed proper-like, with the strongest behind the shortest bolts and so on. But there's no time to waste. Hey, bug, wait. Kill it, Gizmo, kill it. Strongest behind the shortest bolt and so on. Okay, so strongest to weakest behind the shortest, probably to longest bolts. Okay, but there's no time to wrench everything down. Gotta pack. Not like the elevator matters much anymore. I really hope I don't screw up again and forget my diary here when it's time to leave. I don't think I've ever managed to fill in more than 10 pages in the same diary. That's the last entry. Alright. Fair enough. Attempt to fix the elevator. You see 3 different sized bolts in the side of the elevator, which are all very loose. There's a sign that says 3,200 pounds pressure required, and some sort of gauge which currently reads 0, whatever that means. Okay. This is going to be a math puzzle, and it's probably going to hurt my brain. Tighten number 3 bolt did 411. Tighten it again at 822, so it's 411 per. God, they're going to make you do math? Turn number 5 bolts. So it goes from 822 to 1117. Hang on, I can do this. Hang on. Gotta get my calculator out because I'm not gonna be able to do all this in my head. $295. So the number 5 bolt is 295. The number 3 bolt is 411. And the number 7 bolt is 161. Okay. Okay. Oops, I went over. I wasn't paying attention enough. Loose them all. Okay. That's like a whole lot of random ass numbers to get to 3,200 even. 161. Yeah. Ah, balls. Alright. Okay, there's probably some correct pattern to this, and I don't really feel like doing the math. So I'm gonna look it up. And the answer is there in half a second. Thank you, Google. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 times. And then 6 times. Done. Oh, Google, you amazing, amazing piece of work. You tighten the bolt with one complete revolution of your wrench. You hear a plate snap firmly into place and the elevator seems to be humming with life. Looks like it's working now. Excellent. Alright. Soup. Oh. El Vibrato. Ah, snakes. With a lot of heat, but you can take it. Soup. Heat. Soup. Snakes. There are hundreds of snakes lounging in this pool of hot soup. Grab some snakes. Hello, snakes. Hello, welcome. Have a bean. Eldritch soup snake. Eldritch soup snake. Hooray! Meet stewed snake. Ooh. And then snake venom bladder. Lovely. Alright, enough of that. So, El Vibrato is going crazy here. Break it. Hello, El Vibrato. What's in you? El Vibrato fluid. Neat. This says that thing. Great, that's helpful. The screen on the machine says that stuff. Light pulses in a pentagonal aperture on the side of the machine. Insert fluid. 3 buttons appear. Oh, fuck. Wait. 3 buttons appear on the screen and there's 4 options. The 4th option. I got the fluid back. Great. I feel like at some point I'm supposed to learn how to read El Vibrato. But I don't know where that is. Somewhere on the map is where I got my first El Vibrato stuff. That's somewhere in the first segment, but I don't remember where that is. Probably the Humming Cave. That makes sense now that I look at it. So let's go to the Humming Cave. To your delight, you see the silhouette of a big circus tent towering over the pines. Go to the circus! Well, this is a little weird. You didn't expect to find a circus all the way out here. There's basically nobody around for miles. There's a rodeo clown manning the ticket booth. Well, there hasn't actually been a rodeo since the cows came home, so I guess he's just a clown. Ugh, clowns. Yeah, I hear you. Them fellas put me right off my feet. They're so creepy. When I was little, my uncle would give me nightmares with old stories about them. Oh, sure, you mean the old tales about demon cows and demon clowns fighting down in hell? Yeah, that one. And how about rodeo clowns dressed up like that because the first rodeos were reenactments of those battles, and it became a traditional thing? Heh. I remember them stories from when I was a youngin' myself. I ain't thought about them in decades. Don't be fouling your britches, though. These clowns just fellas in makeup. Yeah, I know. Still creeps me out, though. As you approach, the clown puts on the basically cheerful facial expression that Try that again. As you approach, the clown puts on that basically cheerful facial expression that retail employees use when the last thing they want to deal with is a customer, but they're not allowed to say so. Hello, sir. Welcome to Barnaby Bob's Perfectly Normal Traveling Circus Sideshow, sir. How can I help you? I'd like to see the circus, please. Oh, we have the option to run away with the circus. Oh, no. Well, you came to the right place then. But if you want to get inside, you'll need a ticket. And presumably you can sell me one? Well, certainly I can. That's my job after all. For you, sir, a ticket will cost 5,000 meat. Say, what? Does it seem a bit high? I promise you, sir, that price is a real steal. Well, you've got that right. I don't have 5,000 meat. Why is it so expensive? Well now, this is no podunk little traveling circus. We got rides, games, foods, and an amazing demonstration of knife throwing skill by none other than Barnaby Bob himself. Tell me things. Well, I suppose I should say ride, but we haven't had a single grisly merry-go-round accident since we stopped turning it on. Alright, I guess if you stop using the merry-go-round, you're going to stop having grisly accidents with it. Tell me about the games. Oh, we got tons of them. Does 3 count as tons? 3 is more like some. We got some of them. Tell me about the food. We've got your favorites. Popped corn, sarsaparilla with the fancy new bottle caps, and get this. Oh, the fancy new bottle caps, you say. Did you hear about that thing a fella invented cotton candy? Yeah, I think I might have heard that. Well, it's still patented, but we're pretty sure we figured out how it works. Mostly. More or less. Tell me more about Barnaby Bob. Oh, the boss is a real master of knives, let me tell you. He does this amazing stunt where he gets a volunteer from the audience up on stage and then throws knives at him. Never misses his target. Did you leave out the part where he puts an apple on the head or something? What? Oh, right, sure. Never misses his target. You aren't doing a very good job of selling me on this. Why, whatever you do you mean? Attempt to outfox the clown. You don't say. It does sound like an interesting circus. If you really expected me... Hold up. First you ask an outrageous sum of me, then you describe your circus in terms that make it sound distinctly cut rate. Well now, if you really expected me to pay that much, you'd be doing your best to make it sound like a magical paradise. On the other hand, if it really is as chintzy as you describe it, you'd be asking a price cheap enough to overcome poor word of mouth. Which leads me to the conclusion that, for some reason, you don't actually want to sell me a ticket. The clown starts to look nervous. Now, let's not jump to conclusions, friend. I'm just pulling your leg a bit, clowning around like we do. It's all in good fun. So the actual price is 500 meat. I could buy half a horse for that. Sure, but what are you going to do with half a horse? The circus is much more entertaining. I don't know. Still seems shady to me. I'm pretty sure you're hiding something. Maybe something you wouldn't want the marshals to find out about? Hey, wow, geez, mister. Fine, you win. Look, it's on the house, okay? Just give me your hand so I can stamp you for re-entry. There, good grief. Thanks. Yeah, don't mention it. Literally, do not mention it. Talked my way down to 0 entry fee. Now I'm going to go in and probably die. Hello, Demos. Welcome. As you enter the circus, the ticket booth clown shouts, "Welcome to Barnaby Bob's Perfectly Normal Traveling Circus Sideshow, sir," in a loud and enthusiastic voice. Am I allowed to talk yet, Demos? You were gonna try to buy my shit first. Maybe I should do that, or add that as an alias or something. Cheers, Demos. Hey, I thought I put that treats on a much longer timeout than that. But I guess we can treats again. They're still staring at me. Cheers, Demos. Alright, fine. We'll treats again. Going to become addicts? They are very much already addicts. Night's going well. I mean, I literally just started streaming less than an hour ago, but yeah, doing good. You stroll into the circus. Actually, I guess it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs. And find it almost entirely deserted. There aren't more than a dozen other patrons beside yourself. There are a bunch of clowns around working at the booths and so on. More clowns than customers, which is a little unsettling, but at least the lines won't be very long. Cool. Merry-go-round has a dirty canvas tarp over it. Sign says, condemned until further notice. We encourage anyone suffering from horse bites to consult a doctor. Fair. They got quite the hoopla going on here. No kidding, I guess word gets around. Yeah, entertainment's at a real premium in this neck of the woods. Yep, want a balloon? Hell no. Suit yourself. This clown is presumably selling tickets to the sideshow. Yeah, getting them to run on the wheel while the music played would be great. Howdy, fella. Can I interest you in the wondrous and mysterious delights of the sideshow? What all do you have in there? Secrets, mysteries, things too weird and disturbing to be witnessed by the light of day. Freaks? Not just freaks. Gosh. How much does it cost? For you, 300 meat. And for everyone else, 300 meat. Okay then. You won't be disappointed, and in the event that you are disappointed, no refunds. Thanks. Sideshow it is. Are you done, Gila? Good kitty. He's done. The sideshow tent is a fairly large and packed with weird things to look at, like all good sideshows are. A few lanterns are hanging from the ceiling, casting flickering shadows around and making everything look even more eerie. A clown is hanging out in here, presumably to keep an eye on the exhibits. He grins and nods as you enter. Come on in, take your time, have a good look around, and just remember, no touching. What if I wanted to touch? These shelves are displayed at a large collection of strangely painted eggs. You see several shelves of white eggs, each one painted with a unique pattern of colorful shapes. Small placard pinned to one of the shelves says, Clown Eggs. In the circus community, it is traditional for each clown to paint their chosen makeup pattern onto an eggshell. These clown eggs are archived for future reference to ensure that no one chooses a pattern that has already been used. It is considered extremely taboo to wear another clown's face. These must be eggs for the clowns that work in the circus. You recognize a few of them, like the clown here in the sideshow tent and the ticket seller clown out front. So, funny story about this. This is legit. Like, this seems like a weird nonsense for this type of game. To add to the collection that this game has been already weird about. But this is 100% legit. Hi, Scooby. Welcome. But yeah, clown eggs. There's actually a legitimate clown museum. It's unofficial, technically, but it is widely respected and referred to by the clown community. And some of the most famous clowns have their eggs stored there. And it's just 100% like clown egg style copyright, basically. And yeah, it's a real thing. I've seen a documentary on it. It's weird, but it's a thing. Inspect. Hey, step back, please. No touching. Sorry. Right, Trix? Like, it's really friggin' weird. But at the same time, like, it's basically an inter-community respect tradition. Basically. Yeah, you make up your own makeup. You make up your own makeup. I don't know why eggs exactly. I think it's because the tradition started way back, like early days, and eggs were just plentiful and readily available for people who basically had no money at a carnival. I guess I didn't hear an actual story about how it started. When a clown dies, they can hatch the egg and a new clown returns. Oh god. Oh god. I'm sure there is a fascinating story behind it, and I kind of want to learn it. These shelves are filled with jars, and the jars are filled with things. Real weird looking things. You lean in a little closer to inspect the jars. They mostly contain malformed and or mutated animals pickled in formaldehyde. A 3-headed kitten, some kind of ferret or weasel with 8 legs, a twisted Mobius loop of snake without a head or tail. Weird, crazy stuff. One shelf seems devoted to huge, gross, pale grubs, like fat, featureless white worms the size of a sweet potato. The one on the end is larger than the others and has shiny black eyes. Someone has painted its face in an apparent parody of clown makeup. Yuck. The pasty white face has been painted with blue triangles over and under the eyes. The creature has a long, thin slash of a mouth as well, and the area around it has been painted with bright red lipstick. The black eyes flash red and the thing suddenly thrashes in its jar, spinning to face you and stretching its mouth open, revealing rows of yellow shark teeth. You stumble back with a cry of shock. Mow. Yeah! I got you there pretty good, buddy. What is that? It ain't a real critter. It's made of rubber and clay and doll parts and such. Got an electromagnet under the shelf to move it with. He takes a little push-button gizmo out of his pocket to show you. Should have seen your face. You about jumped right out of your boots. God damn clowns. Right, Scooby? Just put it on the fragilest, tiniest thing we can find and hope it all goes well. Apparently they use ceramic eggs now. Good to know. Extra chin scratches, you say? Gila, come here. I have chin scratches for you. Here. Even closer view of the chin scratches. Here you go. Little bitty chin. Kitty. Kitty. I know the feeling, kinder. Not sure you can see it, but I have one on the side of my face here. Hurts like a bitch. Okay, you, eyeball thing. This guy is a startling sight, even for a circus freak show. His entire head is one enormous eyeball. As you look him over, he stares back at you. Not that he's got much choice. Hello there, I'm Twin. ... How's it going? ... Can you talk? ... Guess not. ... So, the circus gig. Do you blink? ... Or wink, I guess? ... Guess not. Closer look. You move a little to the side and lean over the rope to get a closer look at the guy. He's basically just what he seems to be at first glance, a guy with a giant eyeball for a head. You do notice 2 things, though. First, he has an odd lump at the, well, what you would call the base of his skull, if he had one. A sort of crumpled, fleshy mass the size of a fist. With a squint and some imagination, it almost looks like crushed, shriveled vestigial remains of a human head. The second thing you notice is that his ankles are locked to the legs of the stool, and the legs of the stool are bolted to the floor. So, the circus gig? His hands slowly curl into fists and the knuckles turn white with tension. Dot, dot, dot. I see. I understand, I mean. Okay, see you around. Dot, dot, dot. Oh, bad place for a kinder. Right where something sits, indeed. This man is neatly dressed, though his suit is a bit threadbare and out of fashion. He's smoking a pipe and leafing through a magazine. When you stop to look at him, he nods amicably. Hello there. Welcome to the sideshow. My name's Douglas. Hi, I'm Twin. Delighted to meet you. So, well... Are you perhaps trying to think of a polite way to ask what's wrong with me? Yeah, you got me. Don't worry, Twin. I am in a sideshow after all. It is an obvious and natural question. Wait a minute. You said that last bit without moving your lips. Are you a ventriloquist? Not at all. Allow me to demonstrate. He stands up and turns around, his back the same as his front. That is, his suit has been tailored with two front sides, and he has another face in the back of his head, with his hair cut and parted appropriately. Ta-da! As he sits back down, his knees and other joints crack and pop loudly as they reverse themselves. Douglas winces slightly, though certainly not as much as you'd expect. What in the... Surprising, yes? A bit, yeah. How is that even possible? Douglas shrugs and holds his pipe to the now back of his head, so his other face can take a puff. Are you... what's the phrase? Siamese twins? Not exactly. It's difficult to describe, I'm afraid. Two minds in one body, with two faces. It would be closer to the truth to say two instances of the same mind, with, as you say, two faces. So, twin minds, as it were? You're right. That doesn't make any sense at all. The other face chuckles and Douglas holds his magazine behind his back. Took some getting used to, that much is quite certain. Were you born like this? I would rather not discuss how I came to be this way, if you don't mind. Okay, sorry. No apology necessary. Hey, Demos, don't boo me. You know it's right. Your knees must be a wreck. Surgery was necessary to permit them to bend in both directions. It sounds worse than it feels, I assure you. Why are you in a sideshow? With a regular suit and a haircut, you could easily pass for normal. I have a contract. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot the clown making a gesture, but you don't catch what it was. Douglas clears his throat. Plus, well, it's quite the life, you know. Free room and board, travel the world, and you meet such interesting people. Talk to you later, Douglas. Some shady things going on at this carnival. As one would expect of a carnival. What is that noise? There's a lady here with her head sticking out of a hole in a large metal box. She nods politely at you. Hello there, enjoying the carnival? Well, it's interesting. She smiles slightly. Yes, I'm sure it is. Can I ask you a question? Certainly. What's your name? I'm Janet, and you? I'm Twin. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Twin. Why are you in a box? That's a rather personal question, isn't it? Oh, sorry. I'm only teasing, dear. Would you like to see inside? Sure. Janet whistles to signal the clown, and he moseys over. He unlocks the door to the front of the box and throws it open with a theatrical flourish. Inside of Janet's body, you see a tangled, complicated assortment of glass tubes and pipes, ticking clockwork gears and pumps, liquids of various colors, mostly red, slosh through the tubes. A large bellows near the top inflates, then begins to slowly deflate. What do you think? It's a trick, right? You're folded up behind a mirror in there or something. No trick? The clown chuckles and walks around the back of the box. He opens a hatch and waves at you through it, then saunters back to his place by the shelves. It's amazing. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. It's certainly educational, I imagine. The larger tank on the left is my stomach, if you'd like to see what I had for lunch today. Examine her workings. Wink. You watch the various liquids slosh around in their tanks and pipes for a minute. Weird. Gross. But it is indeed educational. I got a perk. Anatomical learning. How did this happen? Were you in some kind of terrible accident? I'm sorry, but I can't talk about that. Of course. Sorry, it must be a painful memory. Her calmly composed face creases into a very slight grimace as she shoots a sidelong glance at the clown. Yes. Nice to meet you. So long, Janet. That was what the noise was. It was Janet. Alright. You, sir. I will talk to him in a moment. I want to see the rest of things. This looks to be one of those weird bent mirrors that makes you look all crazy. As if there wasn't enough crazy looking stuff around here already. Look at yourself. Your reflection in the mirror is short and squashed looking, folded up like an accordion. You spend a moment moving back and forth in front of the mirror, seeing how the image changes. It's kind of amusing. Great. This mirror makes you look really stretched out and thin. Your limbs twist and writhe like snakes as you move around. It's a bit unsettling and your muscles ache a little, sympathetically. Gah! This mirror somehow shows what you look like in clown makeup. Bloodshot eyes stare back at you from pasty white face painted with an odd pattern of red triangles. In the flickering lantern light, it almost looks like he winks at you. Ooh. No thank you. Skate away from that. Hello, sir. Based on his attitude, uniquely combining attentiveness and extreme boredom, you assume this clown's job is to keep an eye on the sideshow exhibits. Howdy, fella. Welcome to the sideshow. Thanks. What's the scene here? Oh, I probably should have talked to him first, but that's okay. Well, down to the left, we have our collection of spooky, warped mirrors. Right here, we have exhibits of clown eggs and pickled punks. Pickled punks? And further down to the right is our freak show. Feel free to explore. I'll be here if you got any questions. Ask a question. What's with the mirrors? Aren't they a riot? That's what they call an optical illusion, as I understand it. Has to do with the way the light reflects off of them. I am 100% sure that's what I saw. What I saw can't be explained by the reflection of light. No telling what you might see if you look too long. Uh-huh. I would like to ask more questions, sir. About these, people. You mean the freaks? Ain't they a scream? The one with the giant eyeball is my favorite. Nice quiet fella. Uh-huh. If you have questions about the other two, feel free to ask them personally. I wouldn't want to be telling tales out of school. Since the eye guy can't talk, though, you can ask me about him if you want. Okay. What can you tell me about him? Not much, I'm afraid, to be honest. He joined us, about a year ago. Maybe a little less. Apparently the process of painting eggs was started by a scientist long ago. He would paint hollowed out eggs with clown makeup as a hobby. He just really liked clowns. Alright then. Right? They're creepy as fuck. Like, totally. Where did he come from? No idea. Weird, ain't it? You'd think, fellow looks like that, you'd have read about him in the papers, right? Well, yeah. Sure is mysterious. How'd he get like that? Couldn't tell you. Bet you have a theory, at least. Heh. Well, maybe he saw something no human fella should ever see. Why is he locked to his chair? Ah, you noticed that, did you? Real shame, that is. Fella's a bit unpredictable. Has a violent spell once in a while. Gosh. Don't you worry none. I'm keeping an eye on him. Okay. What can you tell me about the eggs? It's a traditional clown thing. There's a placard there next to him that explains in detail. Don't get too close, please. They're fragile. Okay. What are the things in the jars? That's what we've been in the business called pickled punks. A menagerie of strange, twisted creatures as you've never seen before and the like. Captured and preserved and on display for your entertainment and edification. That's how the boss says it. Are they real? As real as they come. I don't know that word, kinder. Care to explain? I was going to ask him a question about the people. Does he ever blink? You mean wink? Nope, no eyelids. Gotta toss a bucket of water over him once in a while so he doesn't get too dry. He does look a bit dry now that you mention it. Yeah, it's getting about that time. Excuse me for a minute. Sure. Hello, Bucket Man. Talkie. How's it hanging? ... Blinky. Bye. Okay. So he is now dealing with the bucket on that dude. I shall look closer at the eggs. Since the clown's distracted, you take the opportunity to get a closer look at the eggs. You notice two things about them. Firstly, they're too large to be chicken eggs. You have no idea what kind of eggs they are. Secondly, they've all been broken and then meticulously glued back together. They almost look like they've been reassembled after something hatched out of them. You quickly step back as the guard clown returns. He gives you a fair amount of side-eye, but he doesn't say anything. Oh, they are hatched from the eggs. Kinda was right. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. That is also disturbing. It's an egg with a face on it that cries. Yep, that's disturbing, indeed. Okie dokie. I'm gonna leave the sideshow now. Hot food, cold drinks, tepid candy, and a clown selling rubber toy balloons. When he sees he has your attention, he smiles and waggles the balloons at you enticingly. Hello, sir. Howdy there, fella. Interest you in a toy balloon? How much? For you, just 30 meat. What colors? Oh, we'll just take a look. Red. They're all red. Right? Clowns from eggs, indeed. How do you make them float like that? Wow, there's nothing to it. Heck, they all float around here. Hoo-hoo! Oh boy. They all float around here, indeed. Of course, I'll take one. I got a balloon. It's red. 1 meat. Sell value. Great. Can you tell me more about your circus? Really, it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs. Ho ho! What would you like to know? What are your traveling plans? The place you've set up is kind of out of the way. What are your plans? Haven't decided yet. That's why we sat down somewhere a bit more rural. Keeps things relatively quiet while we scout around. Get the lay of the land and all. Where do you travel from? What was your previous stop interesting? Oh, northwestish. It was a little hole-in-the-ground kind of place. You wouldn't have heard of it. Why is everyone working here a clown? Oh, it's traditional. When the, rodeos stopped being put on, the rodeo clowns took other jobs at the circuses and carnivals. Over the years, it just became the normal thing for carnies to be clowns. It's a community, you might say. Who's this Barnaby Bob guy? Oh, the boss is a real famous showman, though I'm not surprised you wouldn't have heard of him around here. Got an eye like a hawk and a real whiz with those knives of his. Don't miss his show, it's a real highlight of the carnival. Okie dokie. Bye. So let's start with the hot food. Red Hots, calls the clown behind his food stand. Red Hots, footlongs, 2 kinds of mustard. There's a small sign that says lost and found. Clown grins and gestures at the little charcoal grill behind him. Howdy, sir. Interest you in a hot foot-long sausage? How much are they? Ooh, 250 meat. What are the condiments? I got onions, pickle relish, 3 kinds of mustard, and 2 kinds of ketchup. What kinds of mustard? Brown, yellow, blue. Blue? Blue mustard? Ah, looks like I'm all out of blue. Sorry. 2 kinds of ketchup? Yep. Got ketchup and catsup. Talkie. Are they actually... Well, what are they made of? What do you mean? They're pork. What else do you make a sausage out of? I was wondering if you had a vegetarian option. Mister, this is a carnival, not a herbivore. You've been saving that one up, haven't you? For years, thank you, sir. Howdy, smooth agent. JJ, you make a very solid point. It is a little bit odd to pay meat for a hot dog. I mean, granted, it's a little bit odd to be digging meat out of veins in mines and stuff, but 'tis what it is. I don't need to. No. Talkie, more questions. Are they actually foot long? 12 inches? Because lots of guys say that, but I'm just going to stop you right there, seeing as there's ladies and children present. You want one or not? I would like to see your lost and found. Oh, sure thing. What'd you lose? Nothing? What? You just figured you'd see if you had anything I liked? Look, there's no such thing as an honest thief. You gotta pick one or the other. Sorry. It's called barter. I give you my meat, you give me yours. I would like a hot dog. Clown sausage. Great. Thanks. Cold drinks. Ice cold sarsaparilla in bottles. Howdy, sir. Care to treat yourself to an ice cold soft drink? You said you're selling them in bottles. That's right. Got newfangled clown cork bottles, caps and all. What kinds do you have? I got root beer, ginger beer, and sarsaparilla. How about rhubarb? Nope. How about cola? Nope. How about lemonade? Nope. Celery? Nope. Snozzleberry? Nope. Iced tea? Nope. Grape? Nope. Vanilla? Nope. Energy drinks? Nope. I think we're just going to keep going through this again. Howdy the one, welcome. What kinds do you have again? Do you make them yourself? If you're asking if we have a wagon dedicated to brewing and bottling 3 different kinds of sodas in our traveling carnival, no. We stock up as we pass through large towns. How much? 205 meat. 205? For the deposit on the bottle. Okay, fine. I'll take one. Ooh, what do I want? Kinda want to go with the ginger beer. But sarsaparilla is the traditional. Sarsaparilla. Yes. Sarsaparilla. That's how you spell that, I'm sure. Thanks. Tepid candy. Cotton Candy calls the clown behind his foot stand and makes a wheeoot noise with the side whistle. Come try this just invented confectionery delight. Clown blows the side whistle again as you approach. Step right up, fella. Step right up and try one of the world's newest candy sensations. Cotton candy, the finest in several senses of the word. Spun sugar, created through a revolutionary new process. It's so light and sweet and fluffy, it's like eating butterfly dreams and kitten wishes. I'm not going to keep doing his whistle blowing because that's just obnoxious. So it isn't actually made of cotton. What? No, cotton is indigestible, no matter how much chocolate you cover it with. Found that out the hard way, did you? How do you make it? He pats a metal box with a wide funnel coming out the top. This little machine right here. Can't tell you how it works, much as I'd like to brag. It's trade secret. You invented it? Not as such. A couple dentists down south were the first ones. Dentists, go figure. But after hearing about it, I imagine I figured out how it works. Made a few improvements with my design, too. Well, now I'm curious. Sorry, fella, those secrets in this box are for nobody's eyes but my own. I'll be happy to sell you some cotton candy, though. How much? 300 meat. God damn it, I'll take it. Okay. He puts down a slide whistle, puts the slide whistle down on the counter, ducks underneath and comes back up with a paper cone, which he holds out in the mouth of the metal box. Pulls down a lever, and the machine makes a thin squealing sound as the glittering white spun sugar collects around the paper cone in a fluffy cloud. Here you go. Enjoy. Cool. Even just plain old sugar tastes better on a stick. I know that feeling. Alright, I have bought all the things. Now we slither our way this way. You, sir. Oh, this is the main stage. This is aiming, might. There's a clown here selling rubber toy balloons. Oddly, he looks exactly like the other one. Though I guess it's not hard not to tell, really. What with the makeup and all. Howdy, fella. Anything else I can do for you? Weren't you on the other side of the midway just about now? Oh, ho, no. That's the other balloon guy. We just dress alike and use the same face paint. Did we fool you? He grins and gives you a big, exaggerated wink. Wink. A wink. I see. Anything else I can do for you? Tell me about your circus. We already have talked about all of the things. Bye. Alright, let's test my might. This appears to be one of those test your strength games where you have to use a big hammer to ring a bell. Well, howdy there, fella. This here is a game of challenge of strength, and I hope you don't mind me saying so, but you might prefer one of the other games. If you care to try your luck, though, I certainly won't stop you. What's the game? Simple as can be. Just take a big mallet here and hit the lever under that bell. Ring the bell and you win. Prize is a ticket to Barnaby Bob's stage show, which is otherwise sold out. It's a rare catch, my friend. Okay, sure, why not? Ah, I see. I don't have very much in the muscle department. I understand why he said I should try elsewhere. I shall hit it not very hard. You heave the mallet off the counter and struggle to carry it over to the lever, which you don't so much as hit as drop the mallet onto it. Completely out of breath, the little bell striker doesn't move at all. Wow. Is there a word for when something is so unimpressive it actually becomes impressive as a result? Crumble, crumble, crumble. You, sir. Little person. Kid here, searching around with a sad look on his face. You okay, kid? Did you lose your parents? I lost my lucky bottle cap. You haven't seen it, have you, sir? No, but I'll keep an eye out. What's it look like? It's shiny steel and it's on a little chain. I will let you know if I find it. By going immediately over to Lost and Found and trying to find it. Lost and Found. Lucky bottle cap. Clown pulls out a wooden box out from under the counter and looks inside. Appears you're in luck. This one yours? He puts the box on the counter for you to see and turns back to his grill for a moment. Peek, peek, peek. Ah. Ooh. Well, first off, I'll get the thing for the kid. And I think that's all I get. Okay. Fair enough. That's your life? Losing all your stuff? Or are you talking about the hammer drop? Here you go, kid. No problem, kid. Hello again, sir. Say, that is a real nice balloon. You want to trade? I'll give you my lucky bottle cap for it. Sure. Have the balloon. He was all sad about losing it, and then he immediately trades it away. Alright. Presumably this belongs to that kid, because you can't imagine there's more than one person around who would be so into a bottle cap that they would hang it on a keychain. Alright, I guess I have the bottle cap now. I'm probably going to succeed at the mine, so let's test my aim next. Howdy there, fellow. What we have here is a game for sharp eyes and quick reflexes. Hope you won't take it as an insult if I suggest one of the other games might be more your speed, but you're welcome to try your luck all the same. Ah! Pine has hosted. Hello, Pine. Hello, Pine and guest. Welcome. Cheers. What's the game? Well, on the wall behind me, I've got a bunch of thick-skinned, underinflated balloons. For 10 meat, I'll loan you a cheap, inaccurate pistol and a pile of badly made ammunition, and your goal is to pop as many of those balloons as you can before the pistol stops working. That is an unusually honest-sounding description. I've discovered making the challenge sounds exactly as difficult as it is only makes people more determined to be the one who beats it. What's the prize? Stage show. Got it. I will try it. I will shoot like the wind. You take careful aim and pop off rounds and balloons for as long as you can hold the gun together. Hey, not bad at all. Not enough balloons for our grand prize, but it's worth a little something. I got a stuffed toy cat. Adorable. Alright, let's do it. Step right up, fella, step right up. If I may say so, you've got the look of an intelligent and learned individual about you, and I happen to have a game here to put those faculties to the test. The simplest guessing game imaginable. I've got a standard deck of playing cards here. I show you all the faces, and then I turn them back over and start picking cards. You guess what cards I pick, and you win. You don't shuffle them? No, sir. If you can memorize a deck of cards that fast, more power to you. Or if you've got a touch of magic in you and you want to try reading my mind, that's fine too. Just don't dig too deep. Aw, poor baby. But at least she slept through dinner, so, you know, an hour of crying afterward is probably acceptable payoff. I don't even need to ask what the prize is, so I'll give it a shot. You carefully scan the deck of cards as the clown spreads it out in front of you. Then he turns them over with a sweeping flourish. Ready? I shall give it my all. The clown starts picking cards out of the deck and holding them up with backs to you. You rattle off their names as fast as he can pick them up. He seems genuinely impressed. That, sir, is so remarkable as to be practically frightening. Looks like we have a winner. The show will be starting soon. Don't miss it. Thanks. This extremely muscular clown seems to be guarding the entrance of some sort of stage. The clown crosses his arms and grunts when you approach. The stage show ain't till later. When? Later. Yeah, but when exactly? Later. Okay, jeez. But I go in anyway. That muscly clown doesn't seem to want you to go in there. Alright, fine. Later it is. I don't think there's anything else I can do. I've tried all the shows. The kid's gone. I bought all the food. This is shut down. Side shows available. As people don't want to talk to me anymore. Do I want to hear the good news or the good news? How about the good news first? Alright. Got quite a lot of hoopla going on here. No kidding, I guess the word gets around. What should we do next? Do the mayor's job. Right. Other ideas. Take the owl skeleton picture back to the Breadwood bunkhouse. I forgot about that. Thank you. So the show is later. So I guess we leave. Breadwood bunkhouse. There's a goblin standing off to one side of the trail, just staring up at the sky. They don't even seem to notice you approaching. Hello? Oh, hello, hi. What you two doing? A moon I am looking at. Neither moon is out right now, nothing being up there. I am happy to waiting. Alright. The moons won't coming for hours. You two waiting this long? Yes, moon's so big, so bright, so big. To waiting and seeing. You very to liking a moons, huh? Yes, very. To looking, I to collecting rocks of them. The goblin takes a bunch of pebbles out of his pocket to show you. They could be moon rocks for all you know. I will educate the goblin. The goblin takes a bunch of pebbles. Yeah, you start to explain the moons, their makeup, their origins, how they orbit the planet and each other, and so on to the goblin. But it turns out the goblin actually knows far more about it than you do. Fortunately, they're kind enough to not shame you for human-splaining, and even share their moon rocks with you. I got moon bits. Neat. Ooh, you transported a power supply from an old PC to the current PC and it worked. Very good. That is good news, Smooth Agent. I have also had to do the same myself in the past. Bunkhouse. Who was the one? Ah, this guy. Howdy, Twin. You managed to take a picture of that owl skeleton yet? Sure did. Here you go. Great. Oh, will you look at that? What a beaut. Well, thank you, Twin. I ain't got nothing for reward, but I imagine you get some experience points out of it. Thanks. Experience points indeed. Pick the lock. Holloway's pin. Great. Alright, what was the mayor's job again? Missing mail. Missing mail. Missing mail. Yes, the kooky horse does have horse armor. The horse armor is enabled through the menu here. And you have to download the DLC for it. Which, in all honesty, I don't know where I got it. I got a key for it somewhere. I don't think it's a purchase. I think you have to find it. I don't think I can help you beyond that, except for the fact that I can tell you that it is a DLC that you have to find and download. So yes. Okay, what the hell was I doing? Yeah, I'm sure Google will help you at that point. Okay, so how do I get a quest list so I know what the hell I'm supposed to do next? I'm supposed to find the information on the missing mail, but I don't remember what that was. It's been long enough that I don't remember the details. Yeah, unfortunately her hint was, go do the job for the mayor. So, go do the mayor's job for him. So I then go to the mayor, who says, missing mail, which is not terribly helpful information. And then this also says, missing mail, the last patch never made it here. So we're still missing the fine details. I know I've done part of it, because I delivered some mail to Roy Bean's house. I delivered some mail a couple other places, I believe. I can go check Dirtwater and see if there's any information about the mail at the post office there. Oh, you can collect all of them. You have finally made version 0.001 of the first badge of Twin Town. Ooh, demos. I am curious. In the middle of the desert, you find an abandoned minecart. It's sitting in a section of minecart track about 12 feet long, which starts nowhere in particular and ends even less of somewhere in particular. It is mostly full of plain old rocks, not even very interesting looking ones. However, if you left without searching it thoroughly, you'd just end up driving yourself crazy later with the thought that you might have missed something valuable. And so you spend a good half an hour inspecting rocks, and eventually find one that might be worth something. I got a whole meat nugget. Yes, got a package from Rufus. Thanks. Postcard. Prepaid postcard to Rufus. Okay, let's open up the package from Rufus. The package is empty. Or maybe Rufus sent you some kind of special air. That sounds like something he'd do. Breathe it in. You sniff the inside of the package. You gain 200 experience. Whoa, it was special air. Nice. Thanks, Rufus. Appreciate you. That is because I have all of the books. And Rufus was previously sending me all the books for beanery. No longer have to do that. Alright, so you said that I can collect all of the missions. I probably should do that then. Back to Breadwood we go. You encounter a goblin chef out harvesting produce. By which I mean knocking lumps off a cactus. It gives you some real side-eye when it sees you. Hey, you, a human. To keeping away from these lumps that are mine. Or maybe I'm to cooking you instead. What? You goblins don't people to eating, do you? Haha, no gross. I did saying to scare you away. Did you scared? Jeez, yeah, a little. Nice. So, what's cooking? Lumps. Okay then. Instead of bashing the cactus apart, have you considered cutting it up with a knife? What? To considering cactus with knife to cutting. Ah, yes, another chef man suggesting this, but texture all of wrong. Here, you can having his pants. They don't goblin legs fitting. I got kitchen pants. Okay, thanks. Well, congratulations, Smooth Agent. That is definitely good news. Hopefully that works out for you. Okay, offer to help with problems. So we're going to continue reading more about his problems. Oh, thank you. I'd certainly welcome any assistance you can offer. Overdue book. Our library's only got 4 books, so it's serious business when someone doesn't return one. Our records say it was loaned out to a lady named of Alexandria. That was a couple mayors ago, so I don't know her, but I got an address. Okie dokie. Oh, so many clickings. He's going to ask me about every single mission. Oh no. Alright, let's continue. Logging permit. That's the one I actually needed to do because I needed that one to progress, but that's okay. We're running out of trees around here. I don't need to expand operation a bit. Problem is we need a logging permit from the next town, and a whole place up and died before the paperwork was settled. Alright, I will check it out. We keep a municipal soup kitchen open to help with those down on their luck, which is pretty much everybody around here. But we've run out of soup and need someone to go fetch more from the soup stock load. Ah, bread bowls. Off I go. I was wondering about that. I was wondering when I was going to get soup bowl things. No, nope, nope. Help. Look. Skeleton raids. There's a military cemetery not far from here, and I figure something must have happened to the caretaker because military skeletons keep wandering this way and causing a ruckus. Well, a lot of these places that he's telling me to go, I have already gone and done, so hopefully it shouldn't take too terribly much effort. Yes, I did sort out the trouble at the cemetery. I did the thing. The caretaker's back on duty. Well, that is certainly good to hear. Those skeletons were a real nuisance. Hey, skeletons sure have a way of getting under your skin. Haha. Alright, next up, the stolen yeast. We take our yeast supply very serious here in Breadwood, and that dang yeasty gang made off with the whole lot. A couple of fellas said they saw them loitering around the old brewery, so that's probably where they made their hideout. We need that yeast back. Okay. I will investigate the yeast. Nope. 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 Need more help? The missing bread. The baker boys cleaned out our bank right out, and that's not a bit fabulous if you ask me. Fortunately, they haven't been too secretive about their location of their hideout. Can you get our bread back? I mean, the place is called Breadwood. We have to have some bread. Cheers, Scooby! Nope. 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 Oh, he's done? Nope. 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 Okay. Alright then. I am drinking chocolate flavored rum. Okay. Have a whole bunch of new stuff happening. Sure. Let's go to the Baker Boys hideout. You pass by a pile of old bones. When you stop to examine them, they assemble into a skeleton. Just a regular old skeleton with nothing special about it, except for the fact that it's attacking you. And now that I think about it, even that isn't particularly special. Gee, what a humdrum encounter. Boring-ass skeleton getting up and doing nothing useful. Plain old skeleton. Alright, fine. I'm just gonna go all out on this guy. You got beaned. And I happen to like chocolate wine. There's actually a couple brands I really like, but I dig sweet everything, really. I don't like bitter drinks a lot, so I don't tend to go for beers or anything like that. But yeah, not everyone has the same taste, which is why there's like 50 bajillion different types of alcohol, so cheers. That's a shame. Only lemonade for tricks. 'Tis a shame. Ow. 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 Oh, hello, gentlemen. Nothing. Nothing. Cold. Nothing. Nothing. You gentlemen are terrible bakers. These teenagers seem dispirited, and they're trying to drown their sorrows in big mugs of water. Maybe they misunderstood the idiom. Hey, you boys wouldn't know about some bread that went missing, would you? Ah, nuts. I told you we'd get in trouble, Billy. Shut up, Jerry. Why'd you just blab everything, dude? Calm down, calm down. The mayor just wants his bread back. Hand it over and the trouble you're in will be minimal. It ain't that simple, mister. We sold that bread for meat to start up this bakery. Why? Because we wanted to make something of our lives. Everyone in Breadwood is just bums. Plus, like, everyone needs bread, right? So we figured we'd make it big. Well, okay. No problem. We'll take the mayor of the bread you've made and call it even. Oh yeah, no problem, except for the fact that we don't know a dang thing about making bread, it turns out. All we ended up with is weird lumps. Aw, that ain't true, Billy. The last loaf we tried was almost right. Yeah, sure, that one was nearly edible, but we're practically out of ingredients. Maybe I can help. I happen to have an infinite number of ingredients available. I happen to know a place that has unlimited grains. They have so much they'll never even notice if you boys take some on the quiet. Hey, that sounds like a good deal. We wouldn't even need much, just enough to figure recipes out and start making enough meat to buy our own. Okay, I'll draw you a map. Have fun. All of the bread. The baker boys sneak out to Kellogg Ranch to filch a few bags of grain. After a couple tries, the boys hit on a decent bread recipe and bake enough to cover what they stole from the mayor. 40 loaves of bread. This is the entire fiduciary basis of the Breadwood logging camp. All's well that ends well. The bread. If bread were... Hold on. If... The shelf is comprehensively breaded. If bread were money, these boys would be rich now. The oven is warm and fragrant. The staff of life. Staff of life? Bread. Okay. Bread. Glorious bread. So much bread. Good job, boys. Good job. Alright, next up. Let's go to the bakery next. Skip goes towards for the moment. Your transponder beeps, indicating an ordinary-looking copse of trees just over the next ridge. The curious copse. Oh, sure. Make like some different trees and leave. We'll go to the curious copse later. Oh, you never got that ending. Interesting. See, this is what I've explored a ton before I went the right path. So I ended up having a whole bunch of stuff already done. So yeah, definitely a lot of different paths to choose. Got the gin blossoms. Alright, we're going to Schmaltz. Oh! Hello, giant bread demon. This feller is too scared to talk to you. He's just totally freaked out about yeast. That guy's hat got knocked off and covered with yeast. Grab it. I have a yeast-covered hat. Yeah, I don't know how I found Kellogg, honestly. I know I was just wandering around a lot, so it might have just been a random encounter. I know that when you're wandering around and get random encounters, sometimes new locations appear for you. So I might have just stumbled on it. I don't know. It might have also been from... I know something led me to Kellogg because it was related to their diet that they've got there. The funky, weird diet cleansing thing. I don't remember all the details. It was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember that far back. I got a yeast-covered hat. Okay, but ew. This is a great hat to wear if you and your loved ones absolutely love the smell of dough. Or if you don't mind it and your enemies hate it, I guess. Alright. So we have lovely yeast man over here. Can I get past him? No. Beer vat. Beer hose. Great. Let's sample the beer. It's a beer vat. Or at least it's a vat. It's not guaranteed to actually contain beer. It's almost pure ethanol. Blah. Okay, fine. It says beer hose. You're not really sure what purpose it might have served. Well, I want to fight the yeast monster, but also I have the option to devise a cunning plan. Let's see what this actually says first. Some kind of crazy yeast monster has apparently broken loose from the vats and eaten some of the bandits. I guess they brewed up something they couldn't put down. They could barely control it. You'll have to hop to it if you want to prevail here. The puns. It occurs to you that you could use this hose to spray the beast down with high alcohol fluid in that vat. To draw a tasteful analogy, ethanol is basically yeast pee, so the beast would probably be very displeased. Let's do it. You unscrew the hose from the water pipe and hook it up to the vat, and spray the beast down with yeast pee. Turn it on. You hose the beast down with almost pure ethanol. It makes wild burbling sounds, which are probably the yeast equivalent of screams. It doesn't take long for it to stop thrashing around, and it quickly dissolves into a pile of glop, which it basically already was a pile of glop, but it gets even gloppier. Gross. The remains of the horrible yeast beast. I guess you could take some back to the mayor. That's probably still good, right? Sure. I got a half-ton of yeast. But it's light enough for you to carry because it's dry. That's not how half a ton works. Whatever, it's fine. Hello, sir. So, this whole yeast theft biz doesn't seem to have gone well for you guys. Yeah, no. Oh geez, are you the bounty hunter? Relax, the mayor just wants his yeast back. He didn't say anything about hauling you in. Whew, okay. Well, the yeast is in that revolting pile. So, what happened here? Well, we got bored of bread is all. I know a bit about brewing, and we figured we'd come back with a couple of kegs. Nobody would mind so much if we stole the yeast. No offense, but it doesn't seem like you're much of a brewer. Hey. Well, ideally, you wouldn't end up with a ravenous yeast monster. That wasn't my... Okay, well, I guess it was my fault. But I understand what happened. These vats are old, and we didn't clean them properly first, because we were in a hurry. I think there were some frogs living in one of them. And you figured you could use the extra hops? Ha ha. Ha. If you're sure you've gotten it figured out, you could set up shop in Dirtwater. Oh? Yeah, it's turning into quite a little metropolis. I have sent yet another person to Dirtwater. I got beer. You, sir. Now he's too grumpy to talk to you. He's just angrily muttering about yeast. You're under arrest. For what? Stealing about 2 handfuls of yeast? Yes. And the sentence for that is, what, about 3 days in jail? And Breadwood does not actually have a jail? Alright, I'll let you off with a warning this time, I guess. Alright, well that was successful. Onward to Ghostwood. Ah, Ghostwood. It's, almost not here. Huh. All the buildings in this little town are weirdly hazy and translucent, like, oh, ghosts. It's a literal ghost town. Alright, fair enough. You might expect to be able to just walk straight through the door of a ghost building, but some kind of force is preventing that. I guess you could knock on the force? Knock. You had never devised the cunning plan option either. Oh no! I've tried really hard to keep my stats as high as I could to have as many options as possible. Mainly because I keep losing at certain fights. Your fist makes a distant, echoey plap sound on the barroom door, and a ghostly voice comes out of nowhere. Howdy there, fella. New in town? Yeah, I was wondering if... Sorry, I can't do business with you until you have a visitor identification card. Ain't supposed to even talk to you, really. Okay, where do I get one? Try the town hall at the end of the street. Okie dokie, thank you. Ghost rock. It's a ghost rock. Per a BBC article, a bunch of the a bunch of the clown egg faces are at a Wookiee hole in England with charmingly garish caves, mini golf, a model village. Interesting. It does sound fascinating. Not sure you could lead a ghost horse to this, even if you wanted to. Oh, I don't have the ghost horse for this one, but that's okay. I like my crazy horse better. Alright. Oh. This is a regular cactus. Well, the ghost of a regular cactus. Well, the ghost of a regular cactus with the ghost of a pencil stabbed into it. Take the pencil. You try to grab the pencil, but your hand keeps slipping through it. Well then. Looks like I need to have permission to visit the town hall, or the ghost place first. Knock. Your fist makes a distant echoey plap sound on the door for the town hall, and a ghostly voice comes out of nowhere. Ah, visitor! You'll be needing a visitor identification card. I guess so. I'll be happy to help you fill in the forms. Most living people have trouble holding the pages. You'll need a number 3 pencil. If you're filling out the form, can't you just use your own pencil? I will be, but the instructions say very clearly that the applicant must have a number 3 pencil. Number 3 pencil? Isn't a number 2 pencil the usual kind? I suppose, but a number 3 pencil is 50% more official. Well, okay then. Where can I get one? Try the Department of Requisitions. It's just next door. You mean the general store? It's a little bit more specific these days, but yes. A more specific general store. Got it. I'll be right back. Hello, excuse me. I need a... Sorry, can't help you unless you have a visitor ID. But I need a pencil for... No visitor ID, no supplies. Sigh. Alright, fine. Can I just get the pencil, please? I don't think I have a solution to this one that I'm aware of. Hello? The general store won't give me a pencil without a visitor ID. No, certainly not. They aren't authorized to deal with anyone who doesn't have an ID. So how am I supposed to get a number 3 pencil? I suppose I could issue a temporary visitor permit. You don't need a pencil for that one. Okay, great. What's your last name? The Kid. First name? My name is Twin. Taint. I am Taint the Kid. I am Twin. Middle name? Nice. Great. Where are you from, Twin? Nice, the Kid. Wind. I live wherever the wind takes me. Yeah, well, the post office doesn't deliver there. Try again. Okay, fine. I'm staying at Dirtwater. Oof, well, if you set your sights low enough, you'll never be disappointed. Alright, how many bars are in the window of the Adjunct Department of Records? What? It's a quiz to make sure you've actually been paying attention to and care about our little town, instead of just breezing through to show your dedication. 7? You hear a sigh and a sound of paper being torn up. Nope, go count them and try again. Oh, we're gonna have to do this nonsense, are we? Okay. Okay. The jail has 6 bars on it. Nope, 10 bars, if you count the door. The stable says stable. The saloon says saloon and has 2 doors on it. Someone's mounted a pencil sharpener on one of the balcony posts for some reason. I have no pencils to sharpen. That's okay. 10 bars on the jail. The office supply store has 2 windows. There's a pencil stuck in this cactus. I'm trying to remember as much as I can. Alright, I'm ready to redo the temporary visitor form. I am the kid. I am twin. Oh, taint. I accidentally hit taint, but that's fine. Nice. Dirtwater. Bars. 10. What? Oh, just a window. Balls. Balls. Alright, well at least now I get a chance to pick my name right. Alright, I'm gonna click this time so I don't push wrong numbers. Okay. Alright, I am the kid. First name twin. Nice. Dirtwater. 6. Correct. Alright, everything seems to be in order. Here's your temporary visitor pass. Thanks. It expires in 11 seconds. Great. Oh, this game. Ah, hello. How can I help you, Mr. the Kid? I need a number 3 pencil. No problem. We'll just fill out the requisition form. Okay. The Kid. Oh, sorry. Looks like your visitor permit has expired. Have a nice day, but... Oh, ghostly bureaucracy. Need a drink after that. Can I have another one? Well, that appears to be the standard practice. Alright. So there's some answer to this that I don't know. Especially... You managed to snag the pencil with the corner of your temporary visitor permit and yank it out of the cactus. Nice. Oh wait, this is number 4 pencil. I'm gonna skate on over here, sharpen it to a number 3 pencil. You stick the number 4 pencil into the sharpener and grind off about a quarter of it. This must be the sharpened number 3 pencil. Right, a number 3 pencil. Here it is. That's a number 4 pencil? No, it's 75% of a number 4 pencil. I see. I don't see anything about this in the bylaws. Very well, I suppose it'll do. Let's get you started on that visitor identification permit. Thank God. Alright, let's do this. Twin. Nice. Yup. Dirtwater. If you ever decide to set your sights a little higher, I can recommend a good drainage ditch. Okay. How many bars are on the window of the Adjunct Department of Records? 6. Okay. I don't remember seeing bars. I don't remember seeing an adjunct supply of, or what? What's it called? Adjunct Department of Records. But... what? Fine, we'll go through all of them. But... So the only one that has barred windows is this one, the jail. And that's not the Adjunct Department of Records. None of the other ones have barred windows. It's the jail, and it's got 6 bars. And when I said 6 bars, it said no. And I don't remember where else there might be an Adjunct Department of Records. That's the problem I'm having. But okay, hold up. So let me clarify this. When I was signing up for my temporary permit, it asked the question of how many bars are in the windows. And I said 10, and it said wrong. So I went back and realized that there is a window, and then there is a door with a window in it. The window has 6, the door has 10, or 4. So now she is asking the same question, and the answer is not 6. So it's probably 10, but it's a bullshit trick question, because the first time the answer to the same question was 6. That's where I'm having a problem with this. 10. I'd have gotten there eventually. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have actually never had that much frustration with a question in this game. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't remember that shit, but this one, Say, was it always called Ghostwood, or yes, total coincidence? Huh. Oh, this game. On behalf of the mayor of Breadwood, we need a permit. Oh, this is the Department of Requisitions. You need administration. That's next door. Almost there, Sparkle. I would like a permit. I see. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I just need to review the logging records to make sure there are no disqualifying incidents. Go to the Department of Records. It's 2 doors down, and tell them I need a Breadwood file pertaining to logging. ... Is something wrong? Not yet. Just steeling myself in anticipation. The ghostly jailhouse seems to be stacked up with boxes of old papers. You don't see any ghost criminals, but there usually isn't anything longer than a life sentence anyway. Mr. The Kid, was it? What can I do for you? I need a file on Breadwood. Ah, you want the Department of Records. It's next door. This is the Adjunct Department of Records. But she said 2 doors down. I went 2 doors down. Department of Records, how can I help you, Mr. the Kid? I need a file on Breadwood, for the love of God. Breadwood, Applewood, Antiwood, Badwood. Did you mean Bagelwood? Nope, Breadwood. Must be a subword. Beaverwood, Bestwood, Bitterwood, Bloodwood. Ah, here we are, Breadwood. Which section did you need? Logging records. That section has been downgraded from disuse. You'll need to pick it up from the Adjunct Department of Records next door. Naturally. Bring it back here when you've got it, and I'll put it on an official interdepartment document transfer folder for you. Is that really necessary? Absolutely. You can't transfer documents between departments without an interdepartment document transfer folder. It's unthinkable. You used it to buy an election fair and square, quote unquote. Nice. Alright. I need the other thing. The logging reports from Breadwood. What's wrong? Well, these pages are all loose. I can't give them to you like this. What if they blow away? I'm just taking them next door. They're giving me a documents folder, but it'll be fine. No, no. What if there's a free gust of wind as soon as you leave here? It would be chaos. So what do you propose? Well, fortunately, I happen to be the one person in town officially authorized to use a stapler. So you'll staple them together for me? I'd be glad to. But I don't have a stapler. Of course you don't. Don't worry, all you have to do is go to the Department of Requisitions next door and requisition one. So I bring you a stapler and you'll give me the file. Yep. Fine. Stapler. Alright, first we'll need to fill out a requisition form. I figured. The kid. Twin. Nice. Your dessert preference, cake or pie? What is that? Cake. Ugh. Well, despite that, everything seems to be in order. I'll get this filed. Here's your stapler. Ghost stapler. Wouldn't ghost staples just go right through? Great. Thanks. Stapler. Ah. There's nothing better than that new stapler smell. Can I have that logging report now? You bet. Here you go. Freshly stapled and wind resistant. Thanks. I'm back with papers. I got a folder. Great. Thanks. Hang on. I never actually went to the saloon. Ah. Saloon. Well, howdy. What can I do for you, Mr. The Kid? I need a drink immediately. No problem. Beer or whiskey? Whatever. Whiskey. Good choice. Only one small problem, though. And that is... I'm out of whiskey requisition forms. Mind going down to the administration and picking one up for me? Fine. Great. Thanks. Wait, which one has the whiskey requisition forms? Town Hall, I need a whiskey requisition form immediately. Bar? Oh, you mean the Department of Libations. Sure, I can give you a whiskey requisition form. Great. Is what I would like to say, but I'm out of form transfer envelopes. What? Can't transfer a form to a different department without a form transfer envelope to make sure it doesn't get tampered with during transport. You must be joking. No, sir, this is serious business. I'll tell you what, though. They should have a supply of spare form transfer envelopes at the department's requisitions next door. Forms. Which color? Color? Naturally, different colors for different purposes. Tan for regular interdepartment transfers, blue for extra municipal transfers, red for emergencies, and green for bribes. Well, this is a fucking emergency, so gimme. The more I have to deal with this bureaucracy, the more of an emergency this becomes. Give me a red one. Sounds reasonable to me. Here you go. Whiskey. Envelope. Oh, a red one. You must really need that drink. Here you go. One whiskey requisition form. Thanks. One whiskey. Stat. Oh, a red transfer envelope. You must be really thirsty. Okay, let's get this filled out. The Kid. Twin. Nice. Let me match that against your visitor's ID. Twin. Nice. The Kid. Yep, looks all good. So, can I get that whiskey now? Sorry, we're fresh out of whiskey. I hereby vow to destroy this place. I will raise the buildings and salt the earth. Now, don't get all bent out of shape. If you go tell the Department of Requisitions, they'll set us up with a fresh case. Fine. This fucking town indeed. Oh my god. Requisitions. I need whiskey. Great, thanks for letting us know. We'll get us a case sent on over. I don't have to fill anything out. Nope, that'll be handled on delivery. Great. In 2 days. Hey, don't look at me that way. There's a lot of processing and forms for a booze delivery. I have a file. The Breadwood logging records? Fine, let's have a look. Oh, for the love of... What's wrong? That idiot stapled the pages together right in the middle. This is why we took his damn stapler away in the first place. The file is unreadable. You're gonna have to take it back and tell him to unstaple it. You stapled things. Unstaple it. Oh, sorry. I'm only authorized for stapling, not unstapling. Try next door at the Department of Records. I think they have an unstapler there. Can you unstaple this, please? Okay, I'm a fully authorized unstapler, so that's no problem. Spoke too soon, did you? Well, it's just that I don't see the staple remover anywhere. Oh, that's right. The Department of Libations borrowed it. ... To open beer bottles. Sigh. Unstapler. Do you have it? Sure do. That thing tops off beer bottles like you wouldn't believe. So long as it removes staples, I'll be happy. I imagine it does, but I'm afraid I'm not authorized for unstapling. You'll have to take it back over to records. Here you are. The ghost of a staple remover still looks like a weird metal-fanged monster mouth, except now it's in ghost form. Now your office job is even spookier. Great. Unstapler. Unstaple. Great. Let me just have a look at those papers of yours. Tisk, tisk. Adjunct records up to his old tricks again, I see. These don't even need to be stapled. That's what the interdepartment document transfer folder is all for. There you go. Thanks. This fucking town indeed, Demos. Alright, I'm back with an unstapled Breadwood logging file. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, I can't see any problems with this. I'm frankly amazed. Let's get started on the paperwork for that logging permit. I am no longer amazed. Can we begin the raising? Yes, please. The kid. Twin. Nice. Let me check that against your visitor identification. Twin Nice the kid. Okay, that's fine. Just need to stamp this here. Ka-chunk. And sign here. Scribbly scribble. And now you sign it here. Sign. And also here. And initial here. And here. And sign here. Good. Now, just take this back to the mayor of Breadwood and have him sign on this line here and initial over here. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to do that. As frustrating as this is, it's still delightfully amusing. I have only played like 20 hours of Witcher 3, so only the first little bits. I've not played any of the DLC, so I am amused to know that there is an obnoxious bureaucracy everywhere, though. I know, right? It's on my very long to-do list. I have no excuses for myself, other than I probably got distracted and forgot that I was playing it. And then years went by, and it just felt wrong to just go back to it. So I'm going to have to start over at some point. That's my only excuse. Alright, so I'm going to get the fuck out of this town. I do, however, need to figure out how to solve the missing mail quest. I know I was partway through it. I know I went to Dirtwater at some point. I know I got information to go elsewhere. But I can't think of where that elsewhere would be. There was like an outpost or something. But then I got mail. And I delivered it to at least some of the places. But I don't know what was next after that. Either way, back to Breadwood. I've done the main quest. One of your most favorite games. I do intend to go back to it at some point. I intend to play it. I don't know how that's going to happen or when I will have time to do that, but I really should. El Vibrato, approach the robot, fight it. I am going to fireball. Not even going to bother buffing. Not even going to bother bringing out Bean Boy. Just going to fireball and shoot it. Ooh, I got a battery out of that one. Nice. Okay. Mayor. Excuse me, Mayor. I have some papers you need to sign for that logging permit. Alright. Oh, ghost paper. This stuff is weird. Yeah. I think I need a ghost pencil for this. Here, just take mine. Sign down here, initial over here. After some fumbling with the ghostly pencil, the mayor eventually manages to sign the initial form. Alright, Mayor. I'll be back soon with the permit, God willing. Good luck. Alright. Oh. Ooh. I could have gone places without my pencil. I need that. I think it's haunting my beard. Ah, here you go. Thanks. Alright. Yep, we have managed to get your yeast back from the bandits. Got your bread back from the baker boys. Not the missing library book yet. Not the logging permit yet. Not the soup back yet. Not the missing mail yet. Great. Breadwood's library is meager. The baked goods are safe and sound, and the malicious yeast is stored. Great. Alright, I need to go to, before I forget, Lost Dutch Oven Mine, yes, before I forget, because I need to go get that soup, or else I will never fucking remember where that was located. We're going in. You, sir, have fun dancing. It wasn't this place. See, this is what I get. I'm forgetful. This is what I get. It wasn't the Lost Dutch Oven Mine then. Where was it? It was literally the soup stock load. Fair enough. There's a sudden thrilling whoosh sound, and a man dressed all in dark gray with a long flappy cloak and a gray bandana pulled up to conceal his face appears before you out of the shadows. He brandishes a wicked-looking knife at you accusingly. Stop right there. Prove your allegiance, for I'll suffer no cultists in this place. Could you be more specific? The necromancer's cultists. The skeleton guys. I will show him the black hood for the people that I have murdered already. Here, see? I got this hood off a cultist I killed. You're saying having a cultist hood proves you aren't a cultist? Well, if I was a cultist, I would be wearing it, right? That's Not a great argument, but since all the actual cultists I've accused have attacked me at this point but in the conversation, I'll let you pass. Cool. I've been killing them with their own daggers for the sake of poetic justice. Here, have one. Thanks, actually. Thanks. Is that dagger better than my current one? Not really. It's 1 point more damage, but I'd have to reapply all my buffs to it. So no, that's okay. I'll skip it. I will keep beating people with a bone. Soup. 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 Snakes. Soup. Snakes. Come on out, Bean Boy. And then blizzard the snakes. And then shoot the snake. And then I'm going to fire beam the snake. Done! Victory! Hooray! Okay, I've gotten the soup. Back to Breadwood. Goblin is wandering along the path, muttering and ranting out loud to itself. Why not you cramming an entire baguette up your icing funnel? Now, wow, what? Go marrying a bagel, muffin chucker. Are you okay there? Where did you learning a talking like that? Finding a guide to human cusses, cake sucker. The goblin shows you a pamphlet listing a variety of popular profanity. On the back it says, brought to you by the Breadwood Board of Tourism. I shall teach them some new swears. Giving me this pamphlet, and I am teaching you more better swearings. Oh wow, yes, okay. You rack your brain for all the best things your uncle used to say when he was roaring drunk, and the goblin is suitably impressed. I got Breadwood cheat sheet. Sweet. Right? I could use a nice stew in a bread bowl or something like that. That'd be great. All right, Mayor, I have your soups. No. No. Yes. You're a real lifesaver. I was about ready to gnaw my own beard off. That'd have been a shame. It's a nice beard. Breadwood Soup Kitchen. Soup for Breadwood's needy, courtesy of you. Thanks. Okay, now we go off to Ghostwood. You hear a crackle of a north-southwestern lightning snake. Too bad you don't have a forked lightning rod with you. Wait, that wouldn't work at all, would it? Fight it anyway. An electrified snake. Alright, Bean Boy, come on out. Nope. Buff self. Bean Boy. Bean protection. Bean fireball. Fire bean. Shoot it. Okay, I didn't need to try that hard. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Broccoli cheese soup and mac and cheese with salsa topping. Ooh, interesting. Drink. Beer. Requisitions. The kid. Twin. Nice. Let me match that against your visitor ID. Twin, nice, the kid. Yep, that's fine. That'll be 103 meat, including deposit on the bottle. Oh, sorry, I don't have anything to open the bottle with, and I don't think you'd be able to do it yourself. I usually use the Department of Records staple remover. Could you borrow it for me? Fine. Can I have the staple remover back? Thanks. Drink. Beer. The kid. Twin. Nice. Buy. Bottle of ghost beer. Thank you. Drink. Has the whiskey shown up yet? Nope, not yet. Try again tomorrow. I probably should actually sleep at some point. I don't do that often enough. Madam, it's all signed. Great. Just sign this last line at the bottom where it says receipt. Alright, that's everything taken care of. Breadwood's logging permit is hereby approved. Finally. Wonderful. Processing will take about 48 hours. What? Well, everything has to be filed, and the actual permit has to be printed, and so on. You can pick it up in 2 days. ... Alright, fuck it. I'm going to sleep. Back to Dirtwater. That'll be 1 day down at least. Your booze sense alerts you of the presence of a rock. Confused, you move the rock. And sure enough, there's a bottle of booze behind it. You got cheap whiskey. Phew, you were afraid for a second that your booze sense had been replaced with some kind of rock sense. Good news. Spirits for the spirit indeed. Cheers. Sleep, for love of God, sleep. You dream that you're singing old songs about death in a pitch-black void. For some reason, your head turns into a huge rock. You wake up drenched in sweat. Alright then. Black beans. Thinking beans. Delicious. Bean iron cookware. I thought I had some dense bean iron, but apparently not. Alright then. That's fine. Oh, that's right. I never did the DLC for that. Interesting. I'll do that at some point. Alright, so day 1 sleep is done. We're gonna go to the Curious Cops, because we can do that. Your transponder bleeps. Fight the monster. I shall buff myself, and I shall shoot the monster. With fire. And then I shall shoot it with bullets. Great. Great success. I have not played the DLC at all. Is it good music? If it got stuck in your head, I'm assuming it's good music, or at least catchy. The transponder is going crazy around here. But why? Why right here? Ah, it's not specifically around here. It's just telling me that there is a progression. Shockweed plant. Shockweed extract. Spell damage. Nice. Oh, hello! This thing looks pretty tough and pretty attentive. Fight it. It is not very tough, so we're gonna do it. Fire beam. Shoot it. Well then, that was as easy as I thought it would be. Hooray. Ghostly with a strange element. Ah! Hi. Hello. There's some graffiti scratched in this machine next to a single big button. Push the button. The machine emits a harsh buzz, but nothing else. But there's a cup of coffee there. I want it. This monolith is dark. Insert battery. Everything goes blue for a second. You gain the effect energized. You learn the ill vibrato word for nuisance and secondary. Whoa, neat. Words. Secondary something something. Well, I don't want to start pushing buttons randomly without knowing what the hell's going on. So the curious cops we will revisit in a moment. I'm going to go to the Humming Cave quickly. There's other vibrato locations. And I think I might start learning words, because I remember there being other monoliths. I'm hoping I can find them. A loud thwack noise draws your attention, and you follow the sound to a man in a once white apron who is butchering a bighorn sheep or some other large desert animal with an oversized and heavy-looking meat cleaver. He's hauling an implement. As he's hauling the implement up to his shoulder for another blow, he catches sight of you and hisses with a wild look in his eye. "Who's there? Don't test me, boy, or I'll chop you up like this goat," or whatever it is. Yikes. Help him with his cleaving technique. Easy there, you're a butcher, right? You know chef magic? Huh? Oh, you're a bean slinger. I know a couple little things, but I never studied it for real. I might be able to teach you a little telekinesis. Should help you handle that cleaver more easily. What's this? Here, I will raise your awareness telekinetically. You spend some time teaching the butcher how to manipulate objects with his mind, at least well enough to make his cleaver seem a little lighter and less unwieldy. That sounds handy. It gives you some of his animal carcass as payment. Goat steak. Nice. Alright, so, Humming Cave. Bean iron, great. So the dark monoliths, I think I need more batteries. I thought I had more batteries. Got 3 fluid. Keystone. Loop. Apparently no more batteries. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay. Can I have alphabetical? El vibrato. Keystone, loop, fluid. Cylinder. Punch card, scraps, transponder. So I definitely need more scraps, because I need to be able to make the batteries then. So let's go to the professor's house and make a battery. Go back to the Humming Cave and get a word or 3. Battery. Humming Cave. Alright, Demos, have yourself a good night. Cheers. I got goat steak, if that's what you're talking about. You come across a goblin marching around in the woods. They're taller than a typical goblin, probably because their boots are taller than typical goblin boots. In fact, these boots are so tall, they must be half-stuffed with socks to keep the tops from jamming the goblin in the groin. The goblin sees you and marches over, attempting to look intimidating instead of awkward. Hey, human! Hey, what are you doing in this place? This is my ground to stopping. Do you mean your stomping grounds? What? Your boots, which are very tall, I am seeing? Yes, tall boots to having. So also tall am I. That's cool, but they are uncomfortable seeming very. I, too, having no sensation in my feet now, so this is fine. I shall help you with your problem, sir. To waiting. Your feet? You cannot to feeling? Perhaps they have leaving entirely. Okay, that's bad. Oh? Let me having a look. You don't know much about goblin physiology, but you're pretty sure their feet shouldn't be brown when the rest of them is green? It takes some doing, but you eventually manage to convince the goblin that probably shouldn't wear those boots until they can be altered to fit properly and bandaged up a bit. The goblin thanks you and gives you some meat in exchange for your medical services before hobbling away. Great! Alright, let's go back to the humming cave. See if we can put a battery in the thing. Battery. Nope. Battery. You insert the battery in the monolith and it springs to life. Everything goes blue for a second. I have gotten the word for source and refreshment. Whoa. Wonderful. Okay, so I definitely need more of that. Problem is I don't remember where all of the Vibrato stuff is. Because most of them aren't obviously named like the humming cave. The curious cops I will probably forget soon enough. I will actually probably have to look them up. What I would love to know is, I think it was the Lost Dutch Mine that has the ability to grind for more scrap. So let's do that. You see a wagon broken down by the side of the road. Well, if we're being honest, it getting attacked by horrible monsters is probably more likely what happened than a simple mechanical failure. You dismount and investigate. Most of the easy pickings have presumably been picked easily, but there's still a safe in there that was presumably too heavy for scavengers to move. I shall crack it. I got things! Great. Alright, we're going in here and we're going for, hopefully, Vibrato scrap farming. Hopefully. Also, one thing I have forgotten is I have experience that I have not spent in quite some time. What I would like is... I would like a lot of things. I want a lot of things. Let's do another safe kraken, another master cookery, maximum master cookery, max out foxen, let's do another safe kraken. Let's do some gumption. And I think that's all I can do currently. Alright. So, monolith is dark. If I can get another battery... Oh, right. I probably should be pushing the last one, because it's got more of them. Alright, so this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to try to figure out if it's worth it to do one at a time or all 5 at a time, because there's a whole lot more time involved in this fight. Let's do fire beam? Fire beam, that one. not so bad. Bunch of stuff. Okay. I wonder what the punch cards are used for. I don't think I've seen a use for those yet. How about combat speed? Lots. Faster. Do it all faster. All of the faster. We lose all of our combat noises, but it can go really fast. Alright, let's do it. Let's do more of this. Gonna grind out a little bit. Speeding up walking made your life better too. See, I didn't even think about it because I don't really mind taking my time in games. Like it feels like I'm going at an okay pace. But if I'm gonna start grinding for parts, then I think I do want the speed. My Bane Boy is almost dead. I didn't even notice. Alright, let's do a few more. Bean Boy died. Oh no. Decent amount of experience though, and I got Keystone off of that one. That was a lot easier. Can I do anything with more skills? I have 600 now. Hellbender's more spell damage, which is nice. More AP is nice. Do more AP. And Hellbender. Sure, why not? Both of them. And we'll do a little bit of grit. I'm mostly doing this for the scraps, so I can get the stuff. But that's fine. We'll just do it for experience as well. Everything's kosher. Stop shooting my Bean Boy. He's too precious. Stop it. Let's do you fire. My poor Bean Boy. My bean. All right. Can I get? Ooh, Mysticality by 10. Sure, we'll do that. Up a Moxie. Oh, he healed himself. Didn't even notice that was possible. Too bad. You didn't make it. Okay, so we've gotten a ton of scraps. I've gotten 37 scraps so far. Also, I have no idea what the punch cards are for. I've gotten complicated and not so complicated. And I don't know what they're for yet. But I have a lot of them, so hopefully they're for something useful. And I have 2 keystones, so I'll eventually need those. Let's do more. I don't know how much more I should do though. Like I don't like grinding on stream. Shoot. Can still, yeah, I can sell the stocks for meats. That's fine. I was concerned about the punch cards because the stock. I just haven't gotten to a store yet. That's fine. I don't know what the punch cards are for though. All right. Let's see. I didn't really want to increase my vampiric yodel, but it's fine. If I happen to need health, I've got it. We'll do one more. One last one. Then we'll go do stuff. Got another keystone, wonderful. Okay, so let's go with Moxie. That'll do it for now. And let's go to Professor's house, get some... Oh, mine stuff. Great. Let's get a couple batteries made, because I have plenty of keystones. I just haven't gotten very many in the way of batteries. Great. And I think there was still one left at the Lost Dutch Oven mine, so let's go do that. You spot a hellcalf grazing up on the side of the trail, just as it spots you. Its eyes glow, and 2 shadow cows split off from it, forming a small, frightening herd. Let's go on in. Done and done. Alright then. Tainted beefsteak, meat, skin the cows. Susie gets better. Great. Good for her. Yeah, I don't know if I like the extra speed of combat. Let's try 200% and see how that goes. Alright, boozer out for the night. That was a lot of rum, by the way. I'm feeling it a little bit. Battery. I've gained 3 words. Wonderful. Still not enough words, but yeah. Wait, horse? What does horse speed do? I never go on horse. Oh, are you talking about is horse just map? Oh, well let's try that then. Let's see if the professor has anything to say. Off the trail's shoulder, you see some ancient petroglyphs carved into a rock. They seem to translate to "My second's the second of a conscious soul." Intriguing. Sure, that almost made sense. Professor, what do you got to say for yourself? Absolutely nothing. Wonderful. Okay, let's go to Breadwood. I actually do like the speed on the map. That's nice. I never even thought to change those numbers. You spot a tombstone nestled into small pines near the trail. You dismount and approach it. You can't read the inscription because it's covered with pepperoni mold. Mmm, delicious. They got a tombstone pizza. Ah, nice. Mayor, sir. Nope. 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 Didn't I do the logging permit? What was I missing from the logging permit then? I signed it. He signed it. I brought it back to to Ghostwood. They signed it. The fuck do they need next? Wandering Sally. I was looking for a trader anyway. Howdy, ma'am. How you doing? New. Stock. Sell. Stock. Sell. Nugget. Now I want that. I thought there was another nugget I could sell. Bean iron nuggets, yes. No. I need those too. What the hell? Fuck it. Do you have lockpicks for me? You do have lockpicks for me. Da, 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 da. All the stuff I've already sold to her. We're good. Okay. Bye, Sally. Oh, right. The 2 days wait. I forgot about that. You are right. You are right. I could do another sleep then. Let's go to the Curious Cops, though, because I have battery. So I can get more words. Your transponder beeps, indicating a spot on the horizon. You spur Taz towards it to investigate and find a well. Just a well. Curious, abandoned well. It's a well. I don't have a rope. Well then. Transponder goes ape as you get close to the old well. Well then, I need a rope. Can I get a rope? My fourth is the fourth of nothing but time. Intriguing. Hello, Sparkle. Snacks and a drink would be delightful. Yes, if you could bring them, that would be wonderful. Bunkhouse. Rip, rip, rip. Breadwood Trading Post, right. They don't have rope. Unless lasso counts as rope. No, it does not. Muy picante. Muy bueno. Right, back to Dirtwater. Dirtwater Mercantile. Do you have rope for me, sir? Shovel, crackers, soap, oil. Nope. Okay. I guess we just sleep? Yeah, let's just sleep. That'll be fine. Vegan Pop-Tarts. I mean, I guess I don't care about the vegan part as long as they got a ton of sugar on them. You go to sleep. You dream that you're painting a self-portrait while fleeing from a huge rock. Weirdly, all your teeth fall out. You wake up screaming. Well, okay then. Man, I hate the teeth falling out dreams. I hate them so much. Good luck, have fun stabbing things, Sparkle. Alright, Ghostwood. You happen across an unexpected crate. By unexpected, I'm referring to its location, not its condition, which is nailed shut. Got the fucking rope. How handy is that? I wasn't sure where I'd get that, but I got it. Sir? Whiskey. Stat. Sure did, and I think you'd be glad to hear that I saved that whiskey requisition form you already filled out. You're a saint, sir. No problem. You want a shot or a whole bottle? A whole damn bottle, please. You got it. That'll be 1,000 meat. Buy it. This is a ghost bottle filled with ghost whiskey, which is too insubstantial for you to get a proper grip on and actually open it. Looks like you aren't getting ghost wasted tonight. Thanks. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Permit. Gimme. Let me look. Ah, yes, here it is. And there you are. You got a northeast north central logging permit. I don't have to sign anything to collect it? Nope. Are you sure? No, sir, that's it. Holy crap. That's amazing. Alright. I have the... Oh. I was going the wrong location. You see a campfire near the trail and turn off to let your horse to rest a bit. The campfire's owner offers you a cup of coffee and suggests a round or two of poker while it boils. You can tell from the look in his eyes that he's planning to cheat. But so are you, so it's probably fine. Deal me in. Your opponent gets really angry when his 4 aces, all spades, are beaten by your 5 kings, all hearts. He grabs a coffee pot and stomps away, leaving you with an unusually thick deck of cards. Great. Can I keep the thick deck of cards? You hear a crackle of north-southwestern lightning snake. We're fighting the lightning snake. Bye, snake. Nope, no library book. Logging permit, yes. Well, that is definitely going to improve the situation around here. Thank you. I just hope to never see another form again. Any sign of that missing mail? No. Now, about that lumber. Alright, well, you've helped me out quite a bit, so I reckon I can set you up with what you need for that bridge. Thanks. The mayor glances at the list of problems, etc. So, I have solved many of his problems. The biggest issue is that they don't tell me where to find some of this stuff. Missing mail. Yep, it's gone. No fucking clue. Library books. Checked out. No fucking clue. They haven't told me where those things are located. And if they did, it was a while ago in the dialogue and I don't remember. Which is expected for me. But, railroad camp. Taz's ears perk up as he suddenly veers off course. You approach a weird clearing full of piles of rocks. They make your ears ring somehow. The West Pole. Sure, we'll go there. Why not? Loco weed. A pile of weird rocks. I shall mess with them. These rocks are strange. They don't seem to weigh as much as they should. And they're sort of drawn to each other. You could probably make an interesting cairn out of them. Something mystical. An elaborate thing. You step back and admire your handiwork. It's immaculate. You gain the Song of the Spheres. Neat. Ooh, that is fancy indeed. That's fancy as fuck. Something more mystical. Mystical sigil. Fancy. Something powerful. A threatening fist. Indeed. Something suave. A cheeky gesture, perhaps. Heavy trigger finger. Nice. I need more muscle. Can I have more muscle, please? I would like muscle. How much muscle do I have currently? I would like muscle. I have 19, so I only need a little bit more muscle for the 20. Yeah, okay. So, muscle. I'm gonna have tainted beefsteak, sure. Yeah. You eat the steak. It's extremely spicy, in the way that riot spray is extremely spicy. But for some reason, you don't mind so much. You chow down regardless. You feel a spike of pain in your stomach. Oof. Powerful. Impregnable tower. Nice. I have built many a powerful thing. You spent a lot of this game not reading the dialogue. Oh no. I have a kitty. Toes. Kitty toes. I find all of the dialogue in this to be fantastically amusing. No squirmy kitty. No squirmy kitty. Squish. No attention span for text. Yeah, that happens. I am getting close to the point of losing my patience for it. Just because there's so damn much text. Like, a lot of text. And that's fair. There's a lot of freaking text here. But yeah, I still dig it. Now, is there a purpose? Like, is there a purpose to this? Do I have to build bigger things, better things? Do I have to do stuff with this? What's going on with this location? Is there a hint to this location? Madam, this place feels really weird. Yeah, I heard that about the West Pole. To know what causes it? Magnets or something? I can taste the fillings in my teeth. Ah, okay, so there is no real point other than getting the perks for each. Got it. Okay, so I've gotten the perks for each, which is good. Kitty. He's attacking my cable. Bye, Kitty. Good kitty. Squishy kitty. And then do I then keep the perks for each? Heart of Stone, Trigger Finger, Song of the Spheres. Yeah, I think I got them all. Alright, so we're good. I'm gonna knock it over. I'm gonna build Cheeky Gesture. Done. Pair of cheeky gestures. Wonderful. Okay, I've done the thing. Now I also want to go to the well, because I got that rope. Aha! Another location. Grab the cards. Great. Push the button. Ganilla. Oops. 7 buttons appear on the platform. Look at the buttons. This is not helpful at all. Habanos Skatsotsum. There are no buttons, but there's a very thin slot underneath the screen. Ooh, put in a small punch card. I have learned the word. I am learning words. I have figured out what the punch cards are for. Large punch card. Done. Punch cards. Done. Punch cards. Done. The well. the well is handy. I have learned all of the punch card words. I am learning so many words. This is like No Man's Sky all over again. Achievement unlocked for learning 69 El Vibrato words. Nice. I have learned the word for Roberto. You insert the card into the slot. The machine screen springs into frenzied activity. You can't consciously make sense of what you're watching, but when it's all over, you know things you didn't know before. You have learned nothing else from this kind of card. Alright, so I have learned all I can from the small punch cards, and I have run out of large punch cards. Okay. Buttons. The voice says poo-poo. Okay, that's not helpful either. Alright. You have catbirds? Catbirds that lay eggs? Neat. Current teleporter destination, education facility, and then select destination. Oh. Ooh. Auditory nuisance containment? Well, okay, now I'm just curious. This thing's just booping. Very small, big, like big jelly beans, but a dark teal. Ooh, that does sound fancy. Select nuisance destination. Push it. Oh. South Poo Poo. Ace Poo Poo. Yup. Alright. It's just booping. Alright. How about the secondary storage? Unlock, got a battery, and El Vibrato seltzer. Well, that's just fancy. And more El Vibrato fluid. Okay. Scrounge for scraps, perfect. And a weird device. A whining El Vibrato object. This is a dome-shaped El Vibrato machine of unknown purpose, unless its purpose is to make an incessant whining noise, in which case its purpose is both known and very annoying. Aha. Aha! Equipment. Sure, why not? Battery for the monolith. I have gained the effect Energize. Whoa. 2 buttons. Bracelet or brooch. Bracelet or brooch. Bracelet. Makes El Vibrato encounters more likely. Sure. Can I have the brooch? 11 armor. Nice. I'm assuming the brooch goes into here. Muscle, musicality, moxie. Nah, that's fine. Can I have more stuff? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We went to auditory nuisance, secondary, and equipment, so how about drone? Sure. Probably combat. Drone online. Push the button. Nope. I said push the button. A floating construct appears on the dais. Let's fight it. Neat. Let's fight it. Cool. So we can just fight drones here. Neat. Alright, good to know. And educational facility, which is the one that we already went to, where we got all the punch card information. Got it. Okay, so I need more large punch cards before I can do more of that. And I need to figure out how to deal with this button machine. 7th button. I have learned the vibrato word for number 6. Sure. 1st button. Fifth. 6. 7. 4 again. 1st one. There's okay. Hotata. 6. Hotata. 2nd. Nope. Nichabu. It's some sort of wonky guessing game, but I have no way to know which one is which. Hotata 5th? Yes. Okay, I think I got all the number ones. Horchata. You're thinking horchata. I'm not a fan of the spices in horchata, actually. But horchata is 4, or the fifth one. Sure, that's fine. I have learned the numbers. I'm pretty sure I got all of them. That's kind of obnoxious, though. Alright, let's go up. There's still more to do in the obnoxious noise generator thingy, but we got everything. You're just thinking of all the tasty foods. Alright, that's fine. I think I have everything. I've gotten the logging permit, I've gotten the wood. I think it's time for the railroad camp. Got some supplies from the military doohickey. Alright, let's go. Ow. Hey boss, good news. We got that lumber shipment in from Breadwood and we're ready to go. You got the bridge built already? Yep, most of the passengers were so bored they chipped in to help. Nice. Now we just have to lay tracks for the rest of the way into Frisco and the work is done. Both mine and yours. See you there, boss. See ya. Nice. So now we have the map to Frisco. Alright, let's go to Frisco. You're ambushed by a cow who is hiding behind a nearby billboard. Big billboard, big cow. A Frisco hell cow, you say? I think we're going to be in scary territory in a moment here. So let's deal with this. Ow. You made hamburger of that cow. No, I mean like figuratively. Maybe I should have chosen a different idiom? I can see now how that might be confusing. Oh, they give me lots of stuff. Okie dokie. So yeah, apparently we're in scary cow territory. Yes, madam, what would you like to say? Hey there, Susie. Howdy. Guess I just get used to checking this map once in a while. No ranches nearby? Not that I know about. There's a custard stand. Oh, okay. Well then. Alright, custard stand. The last custard stand. What should we do next? So, this must be Frisco. Heck, I can hardly believe we made it here. Say, Smee looks a mite upset about something. Yeah? Okay. Oh, how you doing, Smee? What's going on, Smee? This fancy pants calls himself the Emperor. He won't let us build our tracks up to the station. Can you see if you can talk some sense into him? I'm on it. Playing music for cows. I've seen a couple videos of music for cows. Who the heck are you? Oh my god, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I'm thinking of something. There was something else recently. Emperor Norton. There was something else about Emperor Norton from Frisco. Where am I remembering this from? Who's calling her a bee? She's a nice lady. Emperor Norton. Where is this from? I was dealing with a thing. Oh. Aha. Okay. So another game that I have a YouTube series on that I've been building. I just recorded 4 episodes today. And one of those was talking about Emperor Thomas Norton, I think, from San Francisco. So apparently, this is a wider spread thing. Now I'm curious. Hang on. To the Googles. Emperor Norton, San Francisco. Joshua Abraham Norton, known as Emperor Norton, was a resident of San Francisco, California, who in 1859 proclaimed himself Norton I, Emperor of the United States. In 1863, after Napoleon III invaded Mexico, he took the secondary title of Protector of Mexico. So apparently, self-proclaimed Emperor Norton is a guy who apparently has some sort of standing among people. Apparently he's a dude. Good to know. And I wouldn't have picked up on it at all either, except for I just happened to play a game earlier today that covered the exact same topic. And that just happens to be very coincidental. Good to know. Alright, Emperor Norton, sir. I'm in charge of this city, and you can't build any train tracks here without my permission. An emperor? Where's your crown then? As it happens, I lost my dang crown. Fool thing didn't fit right anyway. But without it, I can't issue any official permits. And that means no rails for you. Unless, of course, you were to give me a new crown. A properly fitting one. I have no crowns, unfortunately. Yeah, and I don't think, Sparkle, I don't think that's just disrespectful to women. I think that's just, in general, a more recent generation of streamers who are just a bunch of unsavory sorts in general. I was going to say something more mean, but then I was told I was respectful, so. But yes, there's a whole lot of shock value going on out there, and it's shock value in many different forms. But yes, there's a lot of people out there just being mean and being weird and being rude, all sorts of stuff. I have no crown, sir. Well, I guess that just tears it, don't it? So not only do you not get that permit, but also, he reaches into his pocket and grabs a handful of powder, which he throws in your face. Your eyes burn. Ha! Have a taste of my famous antivirus, sucker. Your vision goes all weird and then you pass out. What was that? When you come to, Norton is gone, and so is the train. Uh-oh. Oh no. I got Norton's antivirus. Oh no. My head's all goofy and weird now. Thank you for covering that one for me, Sparkle. Yeah, I think there's just a whole trend of not giving a damn right now. And being mean and rude just because it's funny. And, you know, fine. Some of it can be funny if it's done in a funny way. But a lot of it's just mean and mean-spirited just for the sake of it. I try really hard to have a filter. I really do. I have a filter. Because there's a lot going on up here, and I try really hard to filter it for the sake of people in general. But sometimes that filter goes a little bit lax, and quite frankly, I'm surprised to have a filter after all this. But it's fine. You can't focus on the tracks well enough to follow them. You got to get your eyes fixed. Alright. You pass by a pile of old bones. When you stop to examine them, they assemble into a skeleton. Just a regular skeleton, nothing special. Let's go and put him down. Oh yeah, that's right, my eyes are all wonky. Good bean. Good bean. Alright, I gotta fix this quick. It's all sorts of wonky. So I was over in Frisco. Let's go back to Frisco. A flash of brilliant orange next to the trail catches your attention. You park Taz next to a rock and hop down to investigate. It's a Frisco poppy. They used to grow everywhere around here, but they're pretty rare since the cows came home. The cause and effect here is kind of murky. Pick it. I got a Frisco poppy. This once prolific but now rare species of poppy only grows in the area around Frisco, despite protests of the other native flora who don't want it to grow in their backyard. Ooh, 11 mysticality. Nice. You're accused of not having a filter? Alright then. You've got max meat sitting on your Kingdom of Loathing account. Very nice. I admittedly have no information on Kingdom of Loathing. I have never played it. I have only recently heard of it. But congratulations, Overlord. Welcome. How do I get rid of this? Where'd the train go? The lunatic stole it. He drove it off somewhere into the desert. Norton's gone off the rails. He points to a set of deep ruts off to the side of the railroad tracks. You walk over to investigate, but you can't see it because of this weird hexagon thing your eyes are doing. You should probably get that checked out, boss. That Norton fella said something about an antivirus. Maybe someone around here knows something about that? Probably. Let's find out. Oh, damn. There's a whole lot of Frisco here. There's a whole lot of Frisco going on here. Madam, do you know anything? Ugh, this is the worst. Did I hear Smee say antivirus? I ain't liking the sound of that. Yeah, it sucks. Everything looks really weird and it's making me dizzy. My granny used to say honey's real good for infections and illnesses and like. Maybe if we can find some kind of super powerful honey somewheres? Any ideas? Say, didn't that Roy Bean fella have some kind of special honey jelly bean? Maybe that'll do the trick. That's ridiculous, but I guess it's worth a try. Roy Bean, give me your honey, sir. In the front yard of a small adobe building just off the side of the trail, you see a young woman working on a broken water pump. She pauses to dramatically wipe sweat from her brow with her hat. Whew. I will help her fix it. You offer to help, but she just jerks her thumb towards a sign on the front of the building reading, Culligan and Daughters Pump Repair. All pumps repaired effortlessly and expertly. And continues working on it. You learn a lot by watching her. Well, great. Good for you, madam. I like her. She's a nice partner. She's very concerned about the well-being of everyone. Roy, can I have your bean? Howdy, twin. Thanks for helping me get back on my jelly beans. Don't mention it. Which one's the honey bean? Can I have your honey bean? Aha! There's a single yellow jelly bean in this case, with a sign that says Paraguayan murder bee honey jelly bean. Very rare, 6,000 meat. Does this jelly bean really cost 6,000 meat? Well, normally it does, yes, but I guess seeing as how you helped me out with them bandits and goblins and damn dirty hippies, let's call her 5. 5 meat, really? Yeah, I reckon. Better buy in a hurry before I change my mind. 5 meat's a steal, thank you, sir. Let's fix this eye thing going on. A rare and expensive jelly bean made from the honey of the Paraguayan murder bee. Nom. You eat the jelly bean and your vision immediately clears. Modern medicine is really amazing. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, that hex thing was driving me nuts. Back to Frisco. You catch a glimpse of something colorful out of the corner of your eye and hop down to investigate it. Before you know it, you're mesmerized by a scintillating rainbow of shiny, multicolored scales. A moment later, you realize you've fallen for the oldest trick in the book. Specifically, the book about how Frisco vipers trap their prey, because you're surrounded by Frisco vipers. Well, alright then. Oh, your Frisco spent hours like that? Oh no, I'm sorry. They said Roy's Beans, and I'm like, I gotta go to Roy's Beans immediately. Alright, casty spells. Casty spells. Casty spells. Oh no. They did not take much damage from that at all. Oh, this is not good. Oh no. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die real good. Oh no. Uh-oh. 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 I'm gonna die. I mean, I guess I could use some of my dynamite I've been hoarding. I had already gone through his entire quest line before I realized I needed him for one of the other quests, so that kind of goes back to my accidental going too far. Here, let's consume that. And let's do dynamite, 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 dynamite. Healing for myself. Healing for myself. I'm not going to survive this, am I? Healing for myself some more. And we'll set you on fire. Damn it. I'm gonna have to use like all of my items for this, aren't I? Alright, let's heal myself some more. That's dynamite, 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 blizzard. God damn it. Shoot it. Shoot it. Ow. Ow. And dead. Well, balls. I am now angry. I am so angry. Alright, fine. Fine. So, Frisco. The Frisco area. Very hazardous, and I'm really going to have to up my game. I'm probably going to have to go do some grinding. That's unfortunate. Train. Okay. Oh boy. No station. No station. Now playing. Projectionist wanted. The word on the street is that Projectionist Wanted 2 is already in the works. Oh. Projectionist Wanted is the name of the movie. Nice. Croonsies. Clunsies. Well, I'll be a new face. I'm Clunsy. Make yourself at home. Thanks. I'm Twin the Kid. New to town? I've been helping the Manifest Destiny Rail get the tracks laid. We're very, very close, but haven't quite finished yet. Sounds like you could use a drink. Clunsy? Damn right. What do you got? A new Amsterdam, a new fashioned, and an olive gin cone. The weirdo walk is great. I love it. Okay. The olive gin cone. There's got to be a better name for this. The new fashioned. This cocktail was just invented last week. It's got whiskey and sugar and bitters in it, and it's garnished with a new kind of orange peel thing called a twist. A new Amsterdam. That new name is never gonna stick. Fair enough. I don't think I need any drinks at the moment. I'm really fine for the moment. I don't need to sell anything either. We're good. Sir, tell me more things. What's with that huge brawl over there I haven't actually gone to look at yet? Oh, them fellers are always blowing off steam. Just let them go ahead and get their aggressions out, so long as they keep over there away from what furniture I've got left. What can you tell me about Frisco, sir? Oh, it's a fine town. Fella named Samson Frisco found it way back when the mines first opened and out this way and everyone caught the fever. Mining fever? Yep, the kind you get from breathing too much dirt. Frisco was a doctor, you see. Ah, gotcha. Bye, barman. Sorry, no darts from management. You, madam. This lady has a rock in her whiskey. What's the rock about? Whiskey on the rocks, eh? Haha. It was a little funny the first time I heard it today. So by now it should be a laugh riot, right? Mm-hmm. Seriously though, why are you running that whiskey with that rock? The hell was that noise? Ah, Gizmo's chasing bugs. Okay, that's fine. Gizmo, kill it. Kill it. Seriously though, why are you running that whiskey with that rock? I'm not here to drink, I'm doing important research. What kind of research? I'm testing the effects of various liquids on hypercrystalline thermomorphic diarrhea. What? She's doing science. Today's liquid is ethanol. Maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing you're some kind of scientist? Good guess. Specifically, I'm an arcanologist. Arcano magical rocks? Hey, not bad. You got it in one. Dr. Josie Morton at your service. Hi, I'm Twin the Kid. My second guess was going to be buttholes, but rocks don't have those. Not typically, no. Rock buttholes. Got it. Sweet neurotic kitty? That sounds about right. My Gizmo is also fairly sweet and neurotic. He cuddles a lot, but he's also kind of a weirdo. Ah, you didn't put Frisco together with San Francisco. I don't know where I heard it, but I know that Frisco is like a short nickname for San Francisco. Just one of those weird pieces of trivia I picked up at some point. No idea. Morton, huh? Any relation to that Emperor guy? Who? There was a weirdo outside calling himself Emperor Norton. Are you asking me if I'm related to someone because our last names rhyme? Well, not anymore. Have you met the professor? The guy researching El Vibrato out by Gustafson Gulch? That's him. His work is really intriguing, but our fields of study don't overlap as much as you'd expect. No? I'd have thought El Vibrato would be right up your alley. There's all kinds of magical rocks in that stuff. Yeah, but those rocks were heavily modified by the El Vibratoans. My interest is in magical rocks in their naturally occurring state. Ah, I see. How's your whiskey experiment going? Not great, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting much. This test should really be done with pure ethanol, but it's too hard to get that out here. So I'm trying whiskey, just for the heck of it. But the impurities in it would screw up my findings even if I had any. Well, that's a shame. Hey, your rock just turned blue. Oh, that's unrelated. Science stuff turns blue every 23 minutes. I have a colleague who patented a design for a watch based on that property of it. But a 23-minute watch isn't very useful. Plus, you know, the whole cancer thing. This is actually, fun fact, another science thing. There are certain chemical reactions that actually change color on a perfectly timed basis. They will go back and forth from like blue to orange and back again, and they can be timed because they happen so consistently. I don't know if there's one for 23 minutes, but still, things to know. Yeah, did you think I wasn't drinking this because of the flavor? It's because I don't want a tumor that you can call its own name. Do you need any help with your experiments? Sure, I can always use more samples. If you find anything interesting, rocks, bring them my way. Dr. Morton's house. Wonderful. What counts as interesting? I haven't seen any rocks that turn blue. Oh, just any rock that doesn't anything a rock doesn't ordinarily do. Moving around on its own, defying gravity, displaying rudimentary intelligence. What about a rock that plays the banjo? Have you seen a rock that plays the banjo? Well, no, I was just what-ifing. Jeez Louise, don't get my hopes up like that. Well, I will swing by if I find any interesting rocks, madam. Alright, thanks. Hope to see you soon. She pays her tab, fishes the rocks out of her whiskey, and leaves. You decide there's no sense in throwing the bathwater out with the baby, and you pocket the whiskey. You got whiskey without the rocks. 23 spell damage, nice. Use x-rays to fit shoes? That is interesting. They like blue in this game, yes. They also like red. We got red balloons, and there was some other red stuff going on. Yours was afraid of bold things like walking across a room. Ah, I see. That is challenging. Mine is much more of a goofball. He plays fetch. He taught me how to play fetch. He demands that I throw him nuggets of food occasionally. Chases bugs. Chases ghosts. Who knows? Oh boy. Another spittoon. Let's go. What's with the excitement? I've given up. This is the last spittoon in the game, and I'm not going to try it and convince you not to be the most disgusting person on Earth anymore. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, search that filthy spittoon. You kneel down on the floor and throw your arms around the spittoon, giving the greasy brass bucket a great big hug. How about a kiss? Would you like to kiss it? You know it, baby. You pucker up and give the spittoon a great big kiss right on the rim. Is there tongue involved? Well, I'll leave that up to you. But even without it, it tastes like a burning horse. I love it. I know you do, friend. And if it were legal in this country, I'd let you marry that spittoon and have a beautiful romantic honeymoon night with it. But unfortunately, you're going to have to settle for wearing it as a hat. Yes, please. You flip that beautiful brass bucket over and slap it onto your head, drenching yourself in hot brown tobacco spit. It washes down over your face and hair like a sewage waterfall, soaking your clothes, running down your collar, and slithering into your underwear, and filling your boots. I can't even force myself to describe it in any more detail than that. You are the world's most foul human being. Congratulations. I've got the spittoon hat. Hooray! Oh, the spittoons in this game have been fucking delightful. I love it. Alright, so this is currently better than my ghost cowboy hat. However, it needs to be upgraded. So let's go ahead and wear that. I would also like to wear other things. I've got the befouled pistol, the revolting brooch, the Blexcalibur, the filthy porcelain cow, the nasty ring, the spit-soaked pants, and the spit-soaked boots. I am now as gross as humanly possible. Wonderful. I am curious about that colorblind mode. I haven't noticed anything different in the colorblind mode. Do I have it on? I do have it on. You never know. I don't know what it does, but I have it on. Alright, let's join the fracas. Hello, fracas gentlemen. Oh, there's no color, but I would hope that they did something, like maybe a verbal description that says, if you don't know what blue is, just click the one on the left, or something just stupidly silly like that, because that would amuse me. Alright, shoot you. Ah, my bean boy. I hurt my bean boy. Victory. Decent whiskey, decent wine, decent tequila. Hooray. Alright, I will leave all you gentlemen to your mess. Yeah, it said you never know. And that's why I'm curious, because I'm curious if it did anything. It could also be a completely useless checkbox that does nothing whatsoever. And it's just for amusement factor of the fact that you can click on it in a black and white game. But still, you never know. So I have it on, just in case. Alright. I'm gonna go. Hang on. I'm gonna redo my equipment, because I wanted to equip all of the spittoon equipment, just in case it did some sort of achievement or whatever for equipping them all. It didn't. So I'm gonna re-equip the ones that I actually want to use. I'm currently using the befouled pistol. 6 moxie, 3 to 17 damage. This one is fire. Spooky damage. I guess I'll keep the befouled because it's moxie. Blexcalibur is muscle. Enemy. Do I have any that give me moxie or mystical? The bean iron spatula gives me mystical. Yes, bean iron spatula. We'll use that one. Filthy porcelain cow. This one's melee damage and spell damage. Breadwood cheat sheet is moxie. Pistol damage, moxie. Pistol damage, mysticality, stench resist, and a little bit of nothing. Bean can. Spell damage. Mysticality and speed, yes. Alright, Smooth Agent, have yourself a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, so currently wearing 2 armor and speed. This is 10 HP and 2 armor. This is muscle, so I'll keep the muscle. Max HP, or max AP, armor, AP and speed. I think I wanted to keep the speed just to make sure I can go first in combat more often. So I think this is roughly my, roughly my loadout I want to keep. So now I would like to go, we can come back to Frisco at some point. I want to go to Silversmith's house and see if I can update some of this equipment. Oh, your booze sense alerts you to the presence of a rock. I got more cheap tequila. Yes, I would like more needles. I never use silver bullets anyway. Give me needles. I want to pick all of the locks. Wait. No, okay. Let's see. Here. Here? Here. Ah. More silver nuggets. Where was... No, it wasn't the silversmith. Where was the one where I can upgrade my stuff? I thought it was the silversmith house, but that was just for getting needles. Dynamite Dance is for the infinite dynamite. My first is the first of a burning coal. Intriguing. I feel like there's something I should know about those. Like there's numbering in those, so maybe at some point I should know the order of those? No, this was not it. I don't remember where the upgrade spot was. I thought it was the silversmith. Because my hat. I had been wearing the chef's hat. Sloppy chef's hat. Ghost cowboy hat. Snakeskin hatband. Silver plated. So the silver plated make me think that I could get the silversmith to replate things. But I don't remember where that was supposed to happen. Anywho, somewhere in here. Let's go with... Do I have the... electrified snakeskin? There we go. Apply to hat. Yes. Absolutely. So now my hat does more spell damage. Is there anything else I can apply to my various bits and bobs? Ley line diagram. Oh, I didn't know I had to use that. Sure. I have used it. Great. Necromancer's Journal. Read it. Using your ley line diagram, you narrow the location of the Necromancer's lair down to a handful of possible locations based on the unseen currents of energy that riddle the land. Excellent. Excellent. Lair is close to Hellstrom Ranch. Great. Great. It's still terrifying every time I hear it. And the fact that it transitions from ear to ear based on position. Alright, enough of that. Let's go back to Frisco for the moment. There's a whole lot of stuff I'm missing, and I know I'm missing it, but I don't remember how to not be missing it. We'll go to the mine later. I'm gonna go back to Frisco. Yeah. I'll get the train back eventually. Don't worry about it. A flyer. Comedy flyer. Read it. This is something you found on the ground in Frisco, which means that in the absolute best case scenario, it's garbage. You read the garbage. It turns out to be a flyer for a comedy shack up north of Frisco. You jot down the location on your map, then throw the flyer away. Great. Lovely. This is a house I can't interfere with. It's just nearly identical houses as far as the eye can see in that direction. Great. Good to know. And there's nothing else to do here except for fight more dudes at the bar. Great, okay. So I think I'm done with Frisco for the moment. Alright. You jump on Taz's back and ride like the wind, following the railroad tracks back into the desert. When you finally catch up, you stand up on Taz's saddle to leap onto the back of the train like a real badass, just barely catching the ledge of the roof and pulling yourself up. Here's hoping you don't have to do that again. Your stuntman could have been killed. Looks like Susie decided not to join you on account of not having a stuntman, so you're on your own until you get back to Frisco. Whew. Oh dear. Atop the stolen train, you say? Well, that's fascinating. And I think that's perfect time for a cliffhanger. Because it's late, I'm drunk, and I'm tired. That's all I got. So, JJ, thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Literally endgame? But no, not endgame. Hold up. How endgame are we talking? Like, are we talking like a little bit more? It can play more after? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Kitty. I have a kitty. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. But yeah, since they can play more after, and we got a cliffhanger. I mean, a train hanger. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I think this is a good spot to end it. Because my brain. It's just the end of the story as we pretended you would play it. Got it. Okay. It's the end of the main story, but there's still more to do. Okay, understood. Hi, kitty. He just huffed and puffed at me like he's just disappointed in me holding him. Kitty. Kitty. Alright, but that was fun. That was fun. I had a lot of progress, and I think there's still quite a bit more to do. So we have probably one more stream of this, I think. I'm going to shoot for next Friday, hopefully. But we never know. Tomorrow is unknown, so we might do a vote in Discord. Because, yeah, our normal Dice and Sphere program did not happen and cannot happen Saturday. So, yes, Saturday is unknown. Vote in Discord, yes. I also have more videos coming soon on the YouTube side of things. So that's exciting. Sparkle, thanks for hanging out as well. And, yeah, JJ, feel free to join the Discord if you're interested in all of the various weird-ass games that I play. Because I play a lot of weird-ass games. But otherwise, thanks for joining me tonight. Anyone else still lurking out there, thank y'all for coming. Thank you for any subs and follows that I might have missed. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
I see you.